All right, we're starting the Rainbow Deep Dive. I'm here with Jason. We've performed shows together, and um, I don't know. People might see this on YouTube later. Um, yeah, let's
That's
talk
your
about.
that's
That's
your
it.
intro.
That's
There's
it.
no
That's the intro.
where's like the 40-second long like Maximilian Dude like anime opening.
Oh yeah, no, no. We just go right into it. That's it.
All right.
That's
You know
that's
what?
new.
I like it. Cool.
Yeah, I don't have any music drop. I don't have any. I don't have any like preamble like, well, I was grocery shopping today and nah,
I see no bits. No like Conan opening monologue.
I don't have a bit. I don't have a
Cool.
bit.
That's I
Um
prefer it that way, honestly.
yeah. Um I wish I had a bit, but I can't force it. I don't know. So, I just got the debut album put up. I took some notes.
I
Um
took zero notes. I only took vibes.
that's fine. That's fine. Really, in my notes are just I just clicked a counter of like, well, I like the song enough,
Yeah.
and I
I'll
didn't have
admit,
any extra
like
things.
the I most of what I'm going to say about this album is actually just talking about the debut album by Elf.
Yeah, I guess we could
And
talk about Elf. Yeah.
well, all that I'll say is that usually whenever we do these things, we started they all start off the same way. We're like, we're going to do a discography dive. And what happens is like most bands have like kind of a rocky but decent start and then uphill momentum, and then you got your classics, your classics, and then maybe a couple stinkers and then a late career classic, and then you know 1998 and on, just a bunch of like, okay, these guys are playing casinos now, and they're
Right.
really like did you know that Jethro Tull has released 3 albums apparently in the last 10 years?
No,
No, well, no, because
these
they
aren't
went 20
these
like.
these
And
aren't young guys. This band, like
no, so
debut album,
we
these are established guys. This is kind
so
of
we
like a
usually drop out. We
yeah.
usually drop out like right after the mid-career resurgence.
Mm-hmm.
And once they become a tribute band, it's very rare that you get a band who is releasing interesting material like Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Now, bringing that back to Elf, I knew that after listening to the first album once, that was about it, and I never needed to check out the second or third or fourth album or
Yeah,
whatever.
I can't
Uh,
remember listening to much of Elf. Like it was just kind of not necessarily run of the mill. I mean, Dio's voice is good, but like nothing really stood out as like, oh, this is like the early stuff is great. It's just kind of like I think he was with any band he could sort of get with, and he's just like, well, I'm here creating, and they got like world tours with Deep Purple at least. So I mean, they weren't like unknown. They just weren't like the main act. They didn't have
No,
main
and
act energy.
a lot of these bands have like an early years. Like it's only a couple of years ago that I ever heard like Black Sabbath's early pre self-titled demo
Was it
stuff
Earth
when
or
they were
something?
Earth, and they got a song called The Rebel, and it's like a ballad. There's no real distortion, and it sucks. And like the Grateful Dead, before they became the Grateful Dead, they were called like the something something jug. Like they wanted to make a jug band, like
Yeah.
with a literal jug, and going like and you're like, yeah, that doesn't sound good at all. Or
They
like Black Sabbath, before Earth, they were going to be called the Polka Tulk Blues Band, and you're like, yeah, I don't think those guys are headlining Ozfest.
nobody was
So
checking these guys. Like they just got their crazy ideas just on their own. They didn't have like an
yeah,
internet. They didn't have a forum to go like, "Oh, this is the cool new hip thing." They're just kind of like they got too much time on their hands. So,
well, and they all like the blues, and they all like it earnestly, but
yeah.
I don't think that anyone is more egregiously not cool with their interpretation of the blues than Elf. But
Yeah.
at least rather than being a Zeppelin ripoff, it's interesting because they just go into the boogie woogie side of it, like
Right.
early Liberace. like the hoochie coochie woman, ba ba ba
Yeah.
ba ba, and it's
Yeah.
really cheesy and lame. But you know what? At least it's cheesy and lame, but kind of interesting.
Yeah. Um, like Richie was like 30 years old at this point when he started Rainbow, and he had already done Deep Purple Mark One and Mark Two and Mark Three to an extent. It was like Shades of Deep Purple, Book of Taleson, Deep Purple, In Rock, Fireball, Machine Head, Who Do We Think We Are, Burn, Stormbringer. He had a
So
full career of being number
nine
one.
tenths
Yeah,
9/10 of the Deep Purple stuff is done. Like, sure, they had Perfect Strangers later, but Deep Purple, as far as 99% of people think of Deep Purple, was over.
it's done. Yeah. And honestly, like the best stuff is kind of like already happened, at least
Well,
for
and
Deep
so
Purple.
that Elf album sounds like more dated than the stuff that came out 10 years prior.
Yeah.
Like it's already sounds retro.
You were bringing
And
up something that it was like kind of doing the sort of like a 50s or 60s thing. And
but like a barn house, less of like a fit, not like Elvis, not like
yeah.
Johnny Cash, but like specifically boogie woogie piano,
Yeah.
more like a chubby checker sort of thing.
That's
Like it's
not
not
real.
like cool devil. I sold my soul at the crossroads. No, it's not Cream. It
Yeah.
is very much, and it's not Motown either. It's very much this cheap bar room blues that, but it is not dangerous at all. It's completely sanitized. And it's only interesting because somebody decided to do that when they could have done
Yeah.
guitar solos.
I don't even think he was called Ronnie James Dio then. Like it says
No,
Ronald Padavona,
yeah,
you
I
know?
actually read that. I don't know if you saw the story behind why he did that.
I don't I don't know.
It
Uh
was because he wanted I think his mother or father, his
hmm.
parents, he wanted his birth name to be in print on an album
Oh, okay.
so that his family members would have that satisfaction, I guess.
Okay.
So that's
Interesting.
I mean that's Wikipedia deep dive there.
Yeah.
But
First album
so
Elf, that was 1972.
so not a,
We
not a
already
bad
have
listen.
we have Captain Beyond already, you know.
Oh, we have Black Sabbath. We've
Yeah.
got we got Led Zeppelin. We've got Yes, Genesis. Like
Hmm.
everybody else is releasing. We got Pink Floyd.
Right.
We're 5 albums into Pink Floyd, and you still got these little kids being like "Hoochie Coochie Mama,"
Right.
ba 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 ba. It'd be
Couldn't
like
tell you.
everybody else is doing heroin, and they're still like
Right.
sody pop.
Yeah, Sody Pop. It just couldn't really tell you anything about the other members of the band. Um I mean,
No, the piano's all right. Like there you
yeah,
go.
the piano is kind of the main instrument, and
I'm sure it was fun live too. Like get
yeah.
drunk and be like hoochie,
Yeah,
but
just
it's not even it's
no
not
edge.
even as yeah. There's no edge even compared to like the Jerry Lee Lewis's
You know,
and the Liberace's. Like I'm saying, Liberace has more of an edge than early Dio.
you know what? It doesn't sound like an elf. It doesn't sound
No,
like an
it
elf.
does. It doesn't sound like an
There is
elf.
no fantasy element to
It
it.
should.
In
That's
name
exactly
only.
right. It should sound like it came from. That's actually great that you said that.
It's an
It
elfino,
sounds
an elf in
it
name only.
it sounds like it should be like in that same sort of research surge of post Rosemary's Baby, like spooky psychedelic rock before Black Sabbath really
Yeah.
kind of nailed it, because like those early bands like Coven or Black Widow,
Hmm.
or even like Iron Butterfly, like with
Yeah.
Inagata Devita, it's got this like, ooh, Satan,
There's like
ooh, it's wicked, he's gonna get you. They don't know how
yeah.
to be like Ozzy screaming and going,
There's no
ah!
there's no sexuality. There's no um there's nothing dangerous. There's no occult. It's not none
And
of
that would
that.
be okay. And that would be okay if the melodies were stronger, because like I
Hmm.
love Supertramp, and Super
Oh, you're cutting
of a
out.
band as you can
Okay.
get. But I was saying that like you don't have to also be dangerous if you're beautiful. And the
Yeah.
like Supertramp to me makes beautiful, gorgeous music, and they're not dangerous at all.
Right.
Even Yes is a gorgeous band. Genesis mainly writes like they write we Genesis is actually a great example because
First
they
King.
make weird elfy music, but they sound fantasy.
First King Crimson album. Some of the
Oh,
softer
it's
tracks are
gorgeous.
very, very pretty and gorgeous, and it kind of takes you into a faraway land, and it's like it puts you it makes you I don't know, it just
Eh,
it
The
there's an
Beatles are
immersion there.
harder. The
Yeah.
Beatles are even harder than
Yeah.
this. Like and like actually that's a good example. Is it'd be like if they took one of the gimmick tracks off of the White Album and just made every single song like Rocky Raccoon. And
Hmm.
you're like, no, the reason why the White Album works is because every song is different.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
They and it might
Elf,
have just been one of those things where Deep
weird,
Purple
weird
picked him
thing.
up and was just like, I mean, Richie likes simple music. I don't know if he had any kind of say in that. Maybe it was just like a management just grabbing a band and it's like they're available and it's like, well, they got a few albums, all right. Um,
Well, they're called Elf. They obviously play live, and they're obviously an opening band.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, like they're completely inoffensive. But if it wasn't for the band name, the album cover, and Ronnie James Dio being on that album cover, like
nobody
that
would be
wouldn't
talking about it.
it wouldn't even be like a YouTube forgotten classic like so many other bands that I've found are.
Yeah,
Like it's just not that good.
yeah.
It's not
But
bad,
it's
but it's not that good.
yeah. I mean, and a lot of like, it's been a while since I've listened to Dio's autobiography. It goes all the way up to his like solo career where he plays in Madison Square Garden. And that's where it ends, somewhere in the '90s or early 2000s or something like that. Um, but like his early music stuff, it seemed like kind of a struggle. Like, well, we weren't much, but we were a band. A little before Elf, and then kind of getting into Elf. I think he played like trumpet. He played horned instruments, and then he played bass, and then he became like a singer. Um,
Well, and we'll get to this when we talk about like um particularly Rising, but I feel like there's a character of Dio that the cultural consciousness, like when they think of him, they think of a certain type of song and a
yeah,
certain bundle of characteristics. And my argument is that throughout his career, he rarely ever actually delivered on that in terms of the music behind him. Not talking about his singing
I
as
guess
a like as
the
him.
rainbows and unicorns and dragons kind of imagery, maybe that.
Right, and well this big epic like
Ooh, I am the Dark
he's
Lord. He's
yeah
not really
he's
that. No.
no, he's not the Dark Lord, but he's definitely he's definitely in the Fellowship.
Yeah.
He's definitely like Gandalf, a wizard on top of a mountain, and it's so rare that the music behind him actually elevates to the expectation of his
Yeah.
character. And when it does, it's amazing. But
Yeah.
he like his character is more legendary than his body of work is my main argument. I think that like
Interesting.
he he hits he his career as a whole is like a B plus, and it's not even his fault. It's just the music, the
He
songs under him
he's
just
kind of a
don't rise.
he's kind of a maybe he's a victim of like, if we're gonna call him a victim. Um, he's at the mercy of his band. He
Oh
can
yeah.
only do what he can. Um, Richie was already kind of older and starting to change what he wanted to do. Like he started to get and wanted to make more pop music. But when they started, it was like, hey, you know what? Let's write. You're a good singer. I'm tired of Deep Purple. they're getting funky, they're getting soulful. I don't like funk and soul. I don't want to play shoe shine music. That's Richie's words. And so he they started writing together. And it's like, well, I need a band. So he's like, well, I'll take Elf, you know. So he took what he could get, and you know, it's like, hey, let's
Probably
do
paid
this
him
rock.
nothing.
Let's do this rock thing with classical. There's some, you know, it's been said Richie has like a Bulgarian radio in his tooth filling or something like that. I don't know, sort of a joke, but you know, so he's always hearing something exotic or interesting, and so he's like, well, I want to do something like that, something that gets me out of the repetitive kind of rock formula. And so he would
Well,
give
and not
throwaway
being
riffs.
prog, and
Yeah,
and,
not
and
being
not
prog.
doing prog, because that's the
Yeah.
classical. Like if you think it's not Jethro Tull, it's like no, I want it to still be hard rock.
Yeah, yeah. So Richie has a very specific taste that he likes. Um, he likes classical, hard rock, Renaissance music, blues, but he doesn't want to get funky. But then he starts to change. He starts to want a little more contemporary thing because, like, you know, it's mid '70s. Well, we'll get there, but
Yeah.
so the first album, there's not really any fast song. I would say it all kind of goes mid tempo or slow. I looking at the 9 songs, I like 4 of them. I don't think there's any bad Rainbow album. And one of those I would say comes with a caveat. So 16th Century Greensleeves, I like the live version. That's the first version I heard, but I definitely think the studio version is weaker by a long shot.
Yeah, I definitely remember more about the Elf album than I remember about the
Yeah,
first Rainbow album. If it
it's
wasn't for Man on the Silver Mountain, I don't think that anybody would remember it.
yeah, like I've seen Temple of the King at like karaoke bars and stuff.
Really? I
Yeah,
can't even
that's
imagine that
that's
anybody
the one.
would think to.
That's the one Rainbow song. I'm like Temple of the King, and I'm like,
Well,
interesting.
it's just actually I will say that Temple of the King, out of all of their ballads on all of the rest of the albums, I mean they're not really that big of a ballad band to begin with. There's only
Yeah,
a couple, but it is a pretty darn good song. It's just
yeah.
I don't know that the album is mixed, very thin. It totally
Oh,
sounds like a solo project, but not like a solo project that Richie like put his heart and soul into. Like, no, this defines me. It's more like, hey, how fast can I just whip something up together?
yes, this
And
was a
I
thrown
respect
together.
that.
Yeah,
And I respect that sort of quality of it, but at the same time, it doesn't make the music itself more interesting.
Don Area. Oh, I got a chatter saying the keyboardist of one of the keyboardists of Rainbow lives near him. That's kind of cool. Don
Oh,
Area.
that's pretty cool.
That is pretty
Which
sick.
which
I think Don Area
which
might have
era is
been.
the?
I think he might have been Rising. Maybe. No,
I
wait.
mean, yeah, you'll have to check
Tony Perry. No,
check
I think it might have been the 80s.
Encyclopedia. If you check Metal Archives, you can see which era
Yeah.
each member's on.
I just didn't want to interrupt Jason while he was on
I
a roll.
was right. Well, no, it's. I'm not saying that it's a bad album. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that compared to, on one hand, the major bands that everybody knows, your Zeppelin, Sabbath, the Who, Rolling Stone, compared to that stuff. But then on the other side, your unknown bands like Captain Beyond wipes the floor with it.
Yes, yes. That is like a powerhouse. Everybody brought their best. They brought their A game. This was like
they got Man of the Silver Mountain, and that song is on the radio for the next 50 years.
I love that song. I play it. I know every instrument. I sing and play, and I play it frequently on my streams.
Yeah.
Self-Portrait, I don't even remember it. Black Sheep of the Family, I don't really care too much about it. I like Catch the Rainbow. It's a nice song.
Now, isn't Black Sheep of the Family, isn't, from what I read, that's actually that's the reason why the band exists.
Yes.
Is because Richie wanted to do that song and the band were like, nah, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna make a band that'll do it, and then that's just how that happened.
Yeah. He tends to throw in like old songs that like his potential singers like, hey, what about this one? And so they work
Yeah,
out something
but
like
like
that's sort of
I
his like
honestly
audition tape, basically.
I can't remember a thing about the album other than
The cover
Temple of
looks
the
cool.
King. Yeah, yeah, it's a cool like, and that's what I think that people actually remember. And I by people I mean like especially rock critics. Like
Mm.
this is the start of Dragon Rock, and like this is where I'm like, no, no,
Yeah.
there's other. You're just retroactively thinking it because you know Ronnie as the this guy.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it'd be like
Man
it'd
on
be
the
like going
Silver
back and
Mountain
yeah.
has all of his classic lines, like, you know, calling himself a wheel is like
I'm a
very
wheel,
I'm
I'm
a
a wheel,
wheel, I
I
can
can
feel, I can feel.
No, it's well, and yeah, I got nothing wrong with that song.
Yeah,
It's fine. It's not a favorite of mine,
yeah.
but it is a
There are other
it's a
songs.
staple. It's a hard
Staple.
rock staple.
Everybody
It's earned
should
its
know it.
place.
Good
Um,
intermediate song, good arpeggios, and good solo. I like when the solo is kind of like singable, and it's got a good mix
the
of
the
his
album
stuff.
it reminds me a lot of and the first Judas Priest album, Rock'n'Rolla, where it's like ingredients are here. There's nothing bad, but it's
Yeah,
just not
yeah.
it's not quite hitting, and it doesn't just it just kind of doesn't have the energy. The slow songs aren't slow enough. The fast songs aren't fast
Yeah.
enough. The mid-paced songs don't have
Yeah.
enough thump. And
When
so
Dio says he's a wheel, I think of like the big Flintstones stone wheel and not like a car wheel.
mm, like
I get
I
that image in my head. He's like a
yeah,
wheel, that kind of wheel.
I I think people want Dio to be in Manowar, and
Yeah.
so and he's not. Like that's the thing is like they
No.
think it's Manowar and it's not.
Yeah.
Um,
I give it a 4 out of 9. It like the other songs like Self Portrait, Snake Charmer, If You Don't Like Rock and Roll, Still I'm Sad, the Yardbirds cover. I don't care about those so much.
no, it's just another. It's a throwaway, and I
Black
think
Sheep of the
that's how
Family don't care.
I
It's
think, and I'm not trying to be insulting. I think
yeah.
that like that's how Richie saw
It well
albums as throwaways. Like we're gonna record
he
some songs, release
he
it. It's a
didn't
product,
well, I mean, because one of
and we'll
Richie's
see next
staples,
year.
he does like this octave riff, do do dun do do dun do 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 dun. Like he does this kind of thing rather than just play straight chords. Um, but a lot of these songs, they're just kind of there's nothing extra riff or anything to it, so I don't really
No,
find it that interesting. And nothing
no,
else in the song really carries or anything. We could probably move on from this one.
yeah.
But like it's fine. Like
Other bands have the same thing. The first
yeah,
Oyster Cult album is okay.
yeah.
It's
I
got some
think
stuff on it. It's
you're
okay,
you're
but
getting a skeleton band together. You're already established. This was just kind of Richie getting something out there, and it came out at the same time as Come Taste the Band. I don't think Come Taste the Band is really much of anything. It's not.
oh,
I don't find it that interesting. There's like one song later that I found a little more interesting, and I know people go, "Hey, Tommy Bolin, he's like fusion guy." I really didn't hear much of anything like that. And I don't even want to be like negative about that, but it's just like the earlier stuff is better. Like it's just simply Burn is better, Stormbringer is better. Um,
Fireball.
Fireball,
Come
you
on.
know,
It's Fireball. It's like that's
yeah,
what you're.
yeah.
That's
Come
what
Taste the
you're
Band is
doing.
not like, unless it's like your first album, you know,
Hey,
maybe.
I can't. I mean, one of my very first Megadeth albums was Risk,
Look,
and I was totally into it when I was 13.
I love talking with one of I used to work with this old keyboardist guy, piano teacher guy, and like he loved Tormato from Yes. He loved it. He was like, I love this one. He was like, this was like the first Yes album I got. I was like, what is that? And then he's like, oh, and I found the band, and like he was so
Yeah.
into like it was
Meanwhile,
just
it's only got one good song on it.
and yeah, what is it like the
Don't
Whale.
kill the whale.
Don't kill the whale. Yeah, that's the one.
Da-da.
Slays of Masters, Deep Purple.
It's yeah.
Okay.
So
Let me switch the picture here for the image. It's Rainbow Rising. This is the one we all want to talk about.
okay, so yeah, Rainbow Rising is one of the greatest rock and roll albums of all time. One of the greatest proto metal albums ever made. It's pre-power metal. Um, there's just something about it. It just nails everything. It's an 11 out of 10 album.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like,
it just
and it's almost boring to talk about by now, but yeah, no, it is that good. It is mixed that well. The performances are that good. The writing is that good. It just absolutely nails it. 10 out of 10.
the worst track on. Okay, I'm getting a question. Worst track on Rising. I mean, I
Oh,
don't think there's a
everybody
bad
knows.
track. It's
The worst,
Do you
the
close your
worst track
eyes?
is yeah. And Do You Close Your Eyes has a lot of good stuff in it. I think that the pre-chorus is one of the best parts.
But
I could be wrong, how you know you see.
it's
Bow,
2 minutes.
bow, bow, bow.
It's 2 minutes and 58 seconds. Who's gonna be like
Yeah, no, it's a
holding
great
up a bank over that? Like,
well, right. You're listening to the whole album from start to finish. It's in the middle.
Stargazer
It's
is like
absolutely
a
fine.
third. Stargazer
is a third of
is
the
a
album.
third of the album.
Yeah.
Like,
So Do You Close Your Eyes? But it's only just because the chorus section itself
yeah.
is mildly annoying. The Do you close your eyes? I got to know. It's not the best melody, but the rest of the song is really good.
There are cornier songs like that. That is a more interesting song than all of the B-sides of like the debut album. Like
oh yeah, it's totally like I said, the album is still a 10 out of 10 just because there's one song that is like, okay, yeah, I can see, but the thing is, it's not the opener, it's not the closer.
Can't hear Jimmy.
It's right in the middle. There's no weak ballad in the middle to derail. So that's the thing, is like that song, even though it's the weakest one on the album, there's gonna be a weakest song on the album.
Yeah.
And ruin the momentum of the album. So I don't care.
Yeah, it's probably pound for pound the best album of all the Rainbow albums.
I think it's better than any Deep Purple album in the studio.
Yeah. It sounds live. Like it sounds like this is the live show. Like they could start their show and they could end it. I mean, the only little nitpicks I have about it are like, well, Stargazer fades out. Yeah, it could have more low end, sure.
It's also
1976 or something. Like,
yeah, like sure.
Yeah.
But it's also like compared to who? Like I'm trying to, because even like the early like Black Sabbath's Paranoid is like horribly produced if you're gonna judge it compared to modern doom metal.
Yeah.
Like at a certain point, you can just go into your stereo settings and turn the bass up. Which is what I do.
I think when I look at these bands, I kind of judge them from their own band, and like that's it. Like I try not to get too like compared to this band. Maybe if it's like a maybe if they are related, because I do think Deep Purple and Rainbow go into we'll get into Strangers in Us All. We'll get to that. We're gonna kind of just try to keep.
Well, I think that Rainbow's Rising does what everybody says Heaven and Hell did, and Heaven and Hell completely does not do. Neon Nights is a cool song.
Yeah.
But Neon Nights is not as good as Terra Woman. Children of the Sea is not as good as Stargazer. Heaven and Hell is not as good as Stargazer. Like, Stargazer is the best.
Drums. Like, got to talk about that. Cozy Powell.
Yeah, I mean.
Like, that is the best thing. It's so good.
Yeah.
And Richie's just like pick scraping, yeah, just that whole thing. And
Oh, it's immaculate.
yeah,
It's immaculate. It's just so well composed. Um, it's
did
really the
we
birth of epic heavy
did
metal.
we listen to the? I didn't listen to the live album. I do think the live songs are generally better, but like from what
Well,
I've,
no, it didn't have any
we're just
rising on it.
yeah.
I was like,
Um, yeah, the Terra Woman, it's really cool. Um, yeah, just that synth opening is so odd and neat. It's a weird, it's an interesting sound. That synth sound. It's
I agree.
yeah. I don't know what that was. What was?
I mean, I couldn't tell you which one it was, but compared to other, like that was like I won't say it's a
Resonant
popular sound,
Starwave.
but
Moog
it's like having
synthesizer.
yeah, Moog,
Yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah,
No, it's tasteful. It's not Rick Wakeman going all over the place, but he does get the chance to shred on Light in the Black.
yeah, yeah. Light in
But
the Black. That I didn't know about when I was
yeah,
going
you didn't
in.
know that song.
I
That's
was like,
like
and then the first comment I saw on YouTube. Sometimes I check that, and they're like Stargazer Part Two, and I'm like, oh wait, and I'm like, what did I miss here? And
yeah.
it's
How do you
so
follow up one of the best songs ever, the fastest song on the album, and then you just get in and get
yeah,
out?
yeah, and like I was like, I had to pick up my guitar. So this has like Stargazer is an all-time great. Light in the
I'm coming
Black,
home.
it's great. Run with the Wolf is really fun. Starstruck, I've
Oh,
heard that one a lot. Like I like.
yeah. Run with the Wolf is like as far as mid paced, like that's
Ooh,
like Judas Priest wishes that they could write mid paced songs like that because Judas Priest has a million mid paced rockers,
yeah.
but it's one of the best ones. It just it's
Oh,
perfectly
it's got a
placed on the album.
good stomper. It's just a good stomper.
Run, 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 run. Run with the wolf. Boom, bam, 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 boom, bam, 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 bam. There's a
Oh, and I love the
hole in
solo.
the sky.
The he uses like slide guitar in
Oh
this
yeah,
album a lot, which I think Richie understands slide. He understands how to not make it sound bad. Like he has an interesting tone. He's very
it doesn't
melodic
sound
with it.
open. It doesn't sound like he's just okay. I'm gonna have an
Hmm.
open guitar and just like
Yeah,
and just go. He's
very
being very
deliberate.
legato, very deliberate.
Hmm.
I think it's his best. I think it's probably his best playing. You're you're gonna get really close with the song like Highway Star is probably my favorite Richie Blackmore performance, just as one song.
Yeah,
But Stargazer is just like he's just elevated it. That's
yeah.
just it's perfect.
It might
I got
be.
nothing bad to say.
It might be. On the Fireball album,
Watch
wasn't Richie
to
listening
come.
to a lot of the Allmans Brothers?
I'm
I
sure.
wouldn't doubt it. I mean, you know, I know he likes Vanilla Fudge and Mountain, um, you know, Procol Harum. I guess
All the bands that
anything anybody
basically
else listened
most
to
people,
after. Yeah,
all the bands that most people have forgotten about because like I like those bands,
he
but
likes
I
the
don't know
Shadows,
any. Well, yeah, it's like every guitar. Oh yeah, the Shadows. It's like yeah, everybody knows what is it, Comanche? Like
Apache or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, Apache. And it's like yeah, it's fine. Or like
yeah,
Procol Harum. Like I know Procol Harum, but
yeah.
yeah, that's not really a hard rock
No,
guitar based
it
band. That's
Whiter
like
Shade of Pale. Everybody knows that one.
everybody knows Whiter Shade of Pale, and that's it. Nobody
Yeah,
was I, which is like one of the first 20-minute long prog songs
yeah.
where they're high on their
I
minds. I
probably
like that
play
stuff.
I probably play Stargazer almost every live stream. Every
Oh,
other.
it's fucking perfect.
I always
And
play it. It
I
just
just listened to the Dream Theater cover, and there's no reason to really listen to it. They don't not do it
yeah.
well, but it's like that is Dio. In my opinion, that is Dio's ultimate performance. Is that song? The
Yes.
Still Rainbow Rising.
Yeah.
I'm
Is it
coming
far?
home.
Is it far? Is it
That yeah.
far? When
I
will
don't
we leave? Yeah, like the just the harmonic minor kind of
the
sound and
drama. I don't
yeah.
think he ever climbed a mountain near as high ever again.
Well, I
I
mean,
think that
any
song was
hill
it.
is probably really tall for him. I mean, you know,
Yeah, he's the short. He was an elf.
right? Yes, he
So
always does play
yeah,
Stargazer. Yes.
yeah. No, it is a perfect. Had nothing but good things to say about it, and I'm going to continue listening to it forever.
Yeah, so I give this I give Rising a 5 out of 6. I mean, really, just do you closer. Like my criteria is what are the good to great songs. Good song is really just would I learn the riff or would I play it on stream? Like would I kind of like initiate that? And I think pretty much all the songs, pretty much all the
Yeah,
songs.
I would learn the entire album
Yeah,
straight like front to back.
but like I said, I told you the other day, it was like if you called me up and was like, Ross, let's do Rising front to back. That's our show. Like I'd completely, that would I'd just yeah, of course, yeah,
Oh,
no
and I
question.
even argue that it's for me, Rainbow is a one album band. Everything else goes on the mixtape of life.
Mm,
All my other favorite songs are torn from their greater wholes. Rising is the one thing I think that Rainbow did where from it is, and it's the only album of theirs. It's the only album I'm buying it. I would buy a T-shirt.
yeah, all yeah, and the cover really cool looking.
And it's so lame. I love it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's
It's
perfect, like early Manowar
yeah,
esque,
just a
just
giant
cheesy and
fist.
lame and just stupid, and it's great. No,
Just a
it's
giant fist with a rainbow spilling out.
and and it sounds like don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan um of early Judas Priest, but it sounds even ahead of them and Judas Priest, like with Sin After Sin, um, and Stained Class. Like I love those earlier Priest albums.
Yeah.
They even from like a production and writing standpoint are not as tight and as put together as Rising is. Rising is like Captain Beyond's self-titled,
Yeah.
and
On that
Oyster
level.
Cult's Tyranny Mutation. It is like these are just flash in a pan
Right. These are
strokes of
people
brilliance.
people probably like if you're any kind of hard rock fan or any kind of like guitar player that's like studying like about Rising, people probably don't know about Captain Beyond as much or Tyranny and Mutations, and it's like,
Well,
oh, check those
it's
out.
also different now because it's you everything's YouTube famous now
Yeah.
because in the early 2000s nobody was talking about Rainbow's Rising. It was not until probably about 15 years ago that I started seeing it really get a resurgence.
Hmm.
Um, you can call it
Then
like
again,
YouTube.
I mean, I was kind of like I knew about Rainbow since I was like a teenager, so I've been listening and trying to like learn this stuff for a long time, but maybe
I'm
a little
surprised how long they've been around. I
yeah.
thought that they were a very
Rainbow's a
short-lived band.
Rainbow. Well, it's like they're kind of
It's the
like a
longest thing. It's the longest thing he ever did.
well, it's like oh, so okay, hold on, sorry, I got some people in the chat wondering who I'm talking to. So I'm talking with Jason. Jason is with Pissectomy. He's the creator of Pissectomy, the piss grind band. We've done shows together, um, playing guitar and doing music theater and stuff. And we talk about prog rock bands, and we basically are doing like a book club type thing with bands. And this is just
What was
kind of
your idea? Your idea was with King Crimson, and
yeah.
I thought that was a great idea. And then we did Yes, and we both like
Yeah, yeah,
became old men
right.
because we both like our hearts were broken realizing that Bad Yes went on for like 30 years.
Yeah. Actually, do you have any links for anything you want to plug? I can post it
Uh,
in the.
yeah, my you can check out the YouTube. My Instagram's up there. I never update it, but
Okay.
Bandcamp. If you look up vasectomy, you'll find it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll post it. Bandcamp. I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll
Let
come
me.
up with a new band or something with a less dumb name at some point, but not today.
Nah, nah, it's fine. You're the piss guy. You can't escape it. Let me pin this comment in my chat.
New band or something with.
Hang on a sec. Here we go. This. And then Twitch. Let me pin that there. Pin manually. Okay, there we go.
But
Yeah, he has
the whole
CDs and
moral
stuff. Anyway, yeah.
of the story when it comes to Rising is that I think out of everything that Blackmore or Dio ever touched, it was the most forward thinking, ahead of its time, and really stood the test of time. And like you can hear the influence in it in other bands going forward. Whereas I even their best material, like I still think of Deep Purple as sort of a not a retro band, but there's an old fashioned quality to it, like committing to using the organ, John Lord,
Yeah.
instead of like becoming a Rick Wakeman sort of guy.
Yeah, it's
There's a
the guitar organ rock band.
right. So, and I love Deep
Europe
Purple,
kind
but
of does
yeah,
that.
that's a great example. Europe is a complete continuation of like the Rainbow sound and going further until, in my opinion, the later Rainbow albums almost sound like identical to that Europe Shrapnel Records kind of style that we'll get to once it gets to the 80s.
So, okay, so that was 1976 and we're going on.
The Sabbath is almost done.
Sabbath is almost done.
Zeppelin's almost done. Um, everybody's basically getting ready to sell out and do 80s pop.
They're
Like
starting to.
there's some good albums. There's some good albums.
Yeah,
Some great
they
albums,
start
but
changing bass and changed the keyboards, and now we're on the third Dio album, the last Dio album. Now I think we have a disagreement on this album, but I like this one. There's just a lot of songs I maybe it's because I've been listening to it since I was like young. This one I think I would agree on like I think Rising it has this epic live kind of these are like the big epic songs, not so much like these are the singles. This one I think is good solid singles with two big epic songs.
yeah, I think that's fair. I think that Rising is basically an early power metal album. It's about something that's not just the band itself. It's not a "we're here to rock you"
Yeah.
sort of album. Um, I think that "Long Live Rock and Roll" boosts up the production actually quite a bit, and there's some really
Hmm.
cool stuff on it. But it's still but it's backgrounded in reality. It's
Yeah.
back down to we're a bunch of guys
Right.
singing the blues,
Right.
doing rock and roll, like it, and
Yeah.
that's fine. But it's coming back down to do that after we just got down off of the mountain with Wizards and Vikings. And
Yeah.
in my own personal taste, when I'm inspired by Rising, it isn't inspired to go back and listen to later Dio, later Blackmore. It's to go and listen to later power metal. So when I hear Rising, I go, okay, more Judas Priest, more Iron
Hmm.
Maiden, and then we're going into
Yep.
Halloween, and we're going into Blind Guardian, and then we're going that route. So
You want more fantasy. You
Proto
want
metal.
more
I want
proto
them. I want
metal.
the metal.
Yeah, I
I
understand
want,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I wanted them to go into a metal direction rather than a hard rock direction.
yeah,
And the reason why, and you get this in the 80s stuff, is that they make a halfway compromise like most kind of bands did, where they're kind of in the middle, where they're not doing hoochie coochie
yeah.
elf stuff anymore. But you can't call the 80s stuff like blues rock anymore.
You
It's
know,
not Zeppelin.
I
It's not
wonder.
Purple.
I wonder because it's like Dio and Richie started having complications. Well, probably before this, but um, part of the problem was like Richie wanted more contemporary, more pop sound, and Dio was like, I thought we agreed on hard rock and classical. That
Right.
was what the
And
original
that's
vision was.
right. And I think that's it. And
But
you
I
hear
don't
this,
know.
like we were
Dio
talking
might be
earlier.
the hoochie coochie guy, like
Well, I think he was. You've seen the resentment that he has for, like, even if not Ozzy directly, he kind of hates that Ozzy just failed upwards throughout his entire
yeah.
career, um, being really kind of an asshole while doing it. Um, but
Dio definitely had some like bitterness. Like I mean, in interviews, it's pretty clear. Like, he can be very fair, very um, not like full of himself. It's like I think he's got a chip on his shoulder.
well,
He's got a
a,
chip
a
on his
song
shoulder.
like a song like Mr. Crowley should be a Dio song.
Yeah,
That, like, Mr. Crowley should be a rainbow. Like, you can completely imagine Richie Blackmore writing that bow bow now now bum ba da da da. So that whole hard rock meets classical thing, that he wanted to do, and they just kind of almost doing it. Meanwhile, Ozzy just drunkenly walks into Randy Rhoads, and you've got Diary of a Madman, and Diary of a
right.
Madman is that stargazer-esque epic
Yeah,
sort of song that Rainbow just never really tried to ever do again. And they can do whatever they want.
yeah,
I'm the asshole. But the thing that I wanted is that early power metal, and then just keep on driving it forward and keep on going faster and heavier, because that's what Judas Priest did. And that's why, even a Judas Priest song like Electric Eye, there's no
hmm,
reason why there couldn't be a Dio song like that, or The Sentinel, or any number
yeah.
of great sort of Priest tracks, any number of great Iron Maiden tracks.
We may have to
They'd all
do a
sound great with
Dio.
Dio.
We may have to do a Dio deep dive because like I mean
Maybe he has them, but I haven't heard them before. I've heard him doing a lot of dun 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 dun. It all
yeah, like because I have the very beast of Dio CD, but I haven't really like did a full listen of like his albums. I don't,
well. And let's
you
be
know.
honest, all of it sounds like Eye of the Tiger. All the Dio stuff just kind of, it's dun 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 dun. Dun.
I mean,
It- it-
Survivors,
yeah,
great
it's great,
band.
but it's not the Sentinel by Judas Priest.
Right.
It's it it's safely locked in to where it is, but it
Yeah.
doesn't go that next step.
Lock Up the Wolves is pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
think
I'm
so.
totally down to, go deep dive into
Hmm.
Dio's solo material, but I'm going to guess that I'm not going to find a lot of
Well,
speed metal classics.
I mean, Weird Rock is pretty fast. That's like a pretty
Yeah.
fast one. Stand Up
I,
and Shout
I
is pretty good.
yeah,
Um,
Gates of Babylon was cool.
Gates of Babylon is like, I would say, it's like a tie with me for like Stargazer and Gates of Babylon.
Oh, it's not close, but it's good. It's like,
I
don't get me
for
wrong, it's
me,
good.
for me, like
Oh,
Gates
all
of
right, all
Babylon
right.
is that one is Lords of Thunder, Descent. It is, I've Ingve's cover of Gates is excellent. Like,
Well,
um,
Ingve's cover of most things is
yeah,
excellent.
it's excellent.
Like,
Yeah, but like it
like
just that one I've probably and then again I don't really play that one as much as Stargazer.
because
Stargazer is easy to play. Like that's
because if
also
we're
the
gonna
other
talk
reason.
of because if
You
we're
know.
gonna go down that route, we can say that, like, Ingve's cover of "Gimme Gimme Gimme," "A
Right.
Man After Midnight," just shows that ABBA was a better speed metal band than Rainbow was at times.
Voulez-vous?
Yeah, you're yeah, you're yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Voulez-Vous is like are you gonna tell me that's not a Rainbow riff?
Yeah, that's a Rainbow. Actually, they did play that. I feel like I heard that. I heard that riff somewhere. I forget where. There was the Voulez-Vous riff somewhere.
Yeah, which, by the way, just so that everybody knows, ABBA's great, and I think everybody just knows that. Everybody just knows
Everybody
that
knows.
ABBA. The
Yeah.
only thing that ABBA, the funniest thing about ABBA, is that all that you have to do to make them the best band in the world is just turn up the distortion.
Yeah.
If you just do
Oh, yeah.
that, and then you have four on the floor, like kick drums, it's heavy as hell.
It's fucking heavy. Yeah. Mamma Mia was a fun show to play. I hated watching the show, but
Oh yeah,
really
no,
fun.
I was actually I loved playing guitar in that show.
Yeah.
The songs are great, but also actually that's a really great example. There's more good ABBA songs than there are good Rainbow songs. So we
Probably
should actually
ABBA
just be
might
talking
be
about Rainbow.
ABBA might be a longer lived band as well.
I'm pretty sure they were the most successful pop band of the 70s.
Rainbow was 75 to really 1983, so like 8 years, right? And then Strangers in
Yeah.
Us All just kind of appeared,
Yeah.
and there's
Well-
a guy named Doogie, but
So
we'll get to
with
that.
all these Rainbow albums, what I see is that every album past Rising is sort of doing this is attempting the same thing, which is to just make a good collection of songs, and some of them are good and some of them aren't, and you're going to have a different opinion than I will about what those songs are, but
Yeah.
every once in a while you'll hook into one where everybody goes, yeah, that's the song, like Long
Kill
Live
the
Rock,
King.
Rock and Roll or Gates of Babylon. Kill the King, perfectly
Scratch
fine
House.
rock songs. They're good songs, but is it as
Oh.
good as like
I gotta
Dinner by
mention-
Judas Priest?
I gotta
Oh.
mention LA Connection. So this riff is also One Man's Meat in Deep
Oh
Purple.
yeah. And him
Also-
pissing them off.
Also, it's Tight Squeeze on a later Rainbow album. Kind of.
He just liked this riff.
He just kept repeating this kind of riff, and it's like LA Connection. It was fine hearing that the first time. It's not like an amazing song. It's kind of just a like, I don't know. It's all right. Like, it's one of these little. It's like a Fat Bottom Girls kind of riff. It's just
All right.
got this thumping thing, but like he repeats this, so it's kind of like, wait, I've heard that song before. Hang on, I'm gonna pull it up on stream for stream people just for a second. It's the LA Connection. I'm gonna play like the first couple seconds. All right, so that's LA Connection. Here's One Man's Meat from The Battle Rages On, 1993, Deep Purple. A little bit different meter. And then, what was it? Tight Squeeze, Rainbow. I'm kind of skipping ahead, but this is Straight Between the Eyes. But this one was like in the 80s. A little different, but it just.
They should have committed. I dig
Richie
the Long
just-
Live Rock and Roll thing. If you're gonna go, they should have just gone full on Dio wearing armor and
Yes.
sitting on a throne and singing about the Knights of the Round Table. Like they're doing it, but then they constantly just want to bring it back to, no, we're a club band, and you're like,
Yeah.
but do you have to be?
The thing is, I love that Richie Blackmore he just repurposes his riffs because then it just gives me courage to do the same.
Oh, he
And it's
just
like
doesn't
it's
care.
fine.
He just
He
does
doesn't
whatever he
care. He
wants.
doesn't care. He's like, I don't know that riff, and yeah, it's kind of Skinner. Um, I don't know. I like Long Live Rock and Roll, fun, upbeat.
Oh,
Lady of the
the
Lake,
drums.
fun. I like the slide guitar in that one.
I like the Starcastle Lady in the Lake better.
Yeah,
I
Starcastle's
like
great.
Star well because they're lame, but it's at least like weird power
They
metal
it
proto rock.
it's life giving. They're all amazing musicians, and they all can sing. And um, it just it sounds like you're drinking like a melted candy cane.
And it's like yes, but without your brain like dripping out of your ears. It's a
Yeah.
little. It's got more focus.
Okay, so Richie and Dio get into fights. Dio's like, Richie's a cruel man. Richie doesn't care. He likes playing pranks. And he wants to get into a more pop. Um, he wants to kind of embrace the pop sentiment. He's like, I want to make some money. I don't want to just, you know. He's like, there's
Does
some
Dio
heat.
does Dio go straight to Sabbath or does Dio do solo material first?
I think what does Dio
I
do?
think
I think he goes to Sabbath after this.
like straight to Sabbath.
Following his departure in Rainbow in 1979, he replaced Ozzy, and yeah, and then Heaven and Hell was released 1980. Yeah.
And then Ozzy goes on to release the two greatest Dio solo albums of all time,
Yes.
being Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman.
Yeah. It's like you wanna fail in a band and then get into some other group. You just have to find Randy Rhodes. That's all you have to do. You just have to find Randy Rhodes
Uh,
and you're fine.
and
Um,
just not let him in any planes.
so they're like going over tapes. They find a tape that they got like a long time ago, and they're like, "Oh, there's this guy Graham Bonnet." Or actually, no. Like Graham Bonnet was with the Marbles, I think, and he um he was an R&B guy. He wasn't any kind of rock
Yeah,
and
but
roller.
like 70s R&B is not the same thing as like now R&B. So I
Yeah,
don't have any like reference for what that sounded like.
he just
Like what type of R&B is
he
like? Is he
did
doing Motown? Is
he
he
did
doing?
advertisement jingles. You know, like
But he's not sounding like the Delphonics
he's
or
just kind of
something, or like the Jackson Five.
he's kind of that. And I don't know, it's like the Marbles was like late 60s. He really not
Oh, is he
too
doing
much.
like? Well, is he doing? It's weird because R&B at that time was so closely
Southern
aligned with
comfort.
funk, and that's what Richie was trying to get away from.
He was largely unknown. Like, I mean, it was kind of just the Marbles in the late 60s, and then Richie was like, "Hey, you got a great voice." And he comes in short hair, the suit and the glasses, and he's like, "Oh, this is not going to work." And he's like, "Well, I don't care. I don't care." You know. Um and Graham would come in with shorter and shorter hair, and you know, um he basically made all the vocal melodies for Down to Earth. Um, oh yeah, the
I
Long
was
Live Rock and
surprised.
Roll cover, pretty cool looking. It's not as good as Rising or the first, but
I
simple,
I think
whatever.
it's phoned in.
It's fine. Down to Earth,
It's
terrible cover.
yeah. Well, I think that the Long Live Rock and Roll cover is destined for the $5 bargain bin
Yeah,
at your local record store. Like there's a couple bands that everybody has seen. They're like oh, there's a band called Nazareth like that everyone's seen the album cover like, oh, that's a cool album cover. I'm not buying that.
yeah,
Or like Crocus. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, I recognize that. I'm still not buying it.
yeah.
Like that's what I think of. And the later Rainbow albums are really like that, where you can just find copies for $5 and no one's buying them, including me.
Graham
Uh,
Bonnet's audition song was Mistreated from Deep Purple.
okay.
I can imagine that sounded really good. Like Graham's
Oh,
voice, he can sing.
he sings very well. He does. The only problem, and it's sounding so nitpicky because he can sing leagues better than I ever could, but he was the big, very much sounds like the beginning of that '80s sound of just sort of generic, faceless, good singers. Joe Lynn Turner, Jeff Scott Soto, like these sort of guys that they're always employed, but they're
Yeah.
never the face of a band. They never are the character of a band. Like Ozzy, Ozzy's voice. Oh, that's
Ozzy,
Ozzy.
yeah,
Dio. Oh,
mythical.
that's.
Yeah, Graham is
If
better
you
in
told me that
Alcatraz,
Graham
but
Bonnet was Joe Lynn Turner or any of this, I'd go, yeah, I'd go like they're all good, but they all kind
yeah,
of sound like, oh, we needed a singer.
yeah. It's Ian Gillan has like, he's Jesus. Come on, like,
Yeah,
you know,
Ian Gillan
he's got
created
power.
the power metal falsetto wail. The
Hmm.
that
Well, and
that's him, one hundred percent.
he has it all. Where it's like, um, you know what? Graham Bonnet has a little bit of funky chicken in him, just a
A little bit, but he's
little
got
bit.
his
But he doesn't go
his like
full into
little.
anything. Like,
No, he's not playing a character. He's just like I didn't know he wore suits, but that's funny. It just sounds like
yeah,
Huey Lewis in Rainbow.
he's
But
he's cool.
he
I don't
he's,
know.
he sounds hired, and he
Yeah,
sounds like he completely put in 110% performance, but it sounds like he's working for a paycheck. The music sounds, and I think that Rainbow, the rest of their career sounds like this. It sounds like Richie paying a band to play with him.
a little bit. Yeah, it's like he's got a great band. I mean, you got Roger Glover from Deep Purple, Don
Oh yeah,
Airey on keys,
there's
Cozy
tons of
Powell. You know,
most solo albums throughout history are kind of like that.
this was
It's
just
like,
this was just
and
one.
so
Yeah, like good hooks. I mean, all night long. Like I played that one back in the day. Somebody was saying it sounds like a Kiss song. That it does. It does sound like a Kiss song. Um, don't know about your brains, but you look alright. That's sort of the funky chicken in that. Um, yeah, it's fine. Eyes of the World is pretty cool. There's some cool like fast, you know, it's
yeah,
got some
I'm
of that
surprised.
like
I actually think
chuggity chuggity chug stuff
I think
in
the
there.
album is better than Long Live Rock and Roll, only because it has more songs that I like. I skipped less songs while
Okay.
listening to it.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
had Long Live
and
Rock and
I
Roll at
try
a
not to
6 out of
skip.
8.
I try not to skip, but it
Yeah.
happened.
I had
Like
a
it's just
six
at
out
a
of
certain
eight.
point, I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, let me see.
Down to
Um,
Earth and Long Live Rock and Roll, I actually have the same score for 6 out of 8. So I like
okay,
them
like
both
let's see, Down
equally.
to Earth. Yeah, Eyes of the World was good. Danger Zone. Lost in Hollywood was the best song I'd heard since that was like since Light and Black.
Yeah. Lost in Hollywood is an all-time great. That's an all-time great
Yeah.
tune right there. Um,
And I don't
really
even
cool
hate the
riff.
cover that much. It's just it's it's not bad. Like I said, I was it's kind of in, it's out, it's whatever,
It's
and then on to the next one. I thought that it was going to be
it's got
a
this.
like Come Taste the Band. I thought it was going to
Yeah,
be something that I just wasn't going to remember.
good riffs. I mean, like this really made Graham Bonnet a star, like a short-lived star, and like he had his own look. He's sort of, I mean, in a way, his like not wanting to conform with like a rock and roll look was in of itself kind of rock and roll, but at the same time, it's like he's not he's not your S tier singer that like everybody goes to of like, oh yeah, I know him, like in terms of like influence or whatever. He's just really solid, and I like him. I got a soft spot. Like he's just happy to be working. He's happy to be included, and like he was solid. You know, I think he had some alcohol issues that kind of wore him down, but he kind of got over that. I saw a clip of him singing since you've been gone, and he still sounds pretty good. Um,
Yeah, no, I was about to bring up since you've been gone because I had no idea that was a Rainbow song. That's just one of
yeah,
those countless songs that you've heard on the radio a million times without ever paying attention to it.
it,
Um,
great,
and
great solo for that one. I mean, it just very, it's like classic Richie of just something melodic that, you know, you remember, and it's almost like a natural solo where it's like, oh, those are the right notes that you should
yeah,
play, and
I thought that it was Boston. Like when it first came on, I thought that I was like, it's like, is this like a shittier
yeah,
Boston? But
shittier
no, it's not.
Boston.
Uh, and no, it's fine. Like I think that I surrender off of uh which was it
Difficult to cure.
difficult to cure. I think and if you're gonna go into just like
Oh, hang on,
pure 80s.
I gotta change the images here. Yeah, go on.
Oh, well, I think that well, these albums all start to blend together because they're kind of doing the same thing. It's just like throwing darts at a dartboard, seeing what sticks, and almost every single one kind of hits like three really good songs, and they all almost all of them happen to be fast. Now,
Yeah,
I surrender as far as a chorus led single goes is better than most, but it's still not like it's not Photograph. It's not Come On Feel the Noise. It's
yeah.
not uh, Kickstart My Heart or any other number of sort of 80s um, uh, hair metal power singles. It's good,
It's
and
yeah, that
good
was the
is
first
good. Good
song
is
they
better than
wrote.
shitty.
That was the song they wrote first with Joe Lynn Turner. I Surrender. I like it. It's cool bendy riff. Um, I like the chorus. You know, it's one of those classic Richie melodies where it's very simple, but it's like it's just like a cool bit, you know, and then he kind of does variations on it. Dun, 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 dun. Na, 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 na. You know, he just does like little variations on that. Joe sounds great. I think Joe was like 19 when he was singing for this. I think he was really young. Hang on a sec. So
We're on
1951. When did
Difficult to
this come
Cure,
out?
right?
Oh wait, he was just 30. He was just 30. Yeah, difficult to cure now. Um,
Spotlight Kid is
I yeah,
the highlight
Spotlight
of the album.
really great. That's basically Jet the Jet, Alcatraz. Or but this is like the proto version of that.
Well, it's funny because I was on Metal Archives looking on the reviews, and
Very
almost all of them are the only people reviewing it are fans of the band. So almost every single album has like 80, 80, 83, 80. But for some reason, Difficult to Cure was in the, and I'm like, how is this any different than the two that came before it and the two that came after it?
hmm.
Like, what makes this one specially bad? And I'm like, I don't hear it. It sounds like the exact same as the other two albums, which was, yeah, not a great album, but it's got a couple cool songs on it.
I give this one a 6 out of 9. Like there's no bad Rainbow album. Um, difficult to cure. It's like the doctors, you know, putting on the glove. I don't know. It's I don't I don't know why it's Rainbow. Like I mean, it's almost like they could have been called a different band name, I
It's
guess.
very Spinal Tap, like intravenous to Milo.
Yeah,
It's very, to me, it's very Shark Sandwich. It's
yeah.
just like, what is it? Oh, we're just gonna call it something.
It's yeah, the stuff I liked on Difficult to Cure, I Surrender, Spotlight Kid, those are the highlights. Um,
You can also see that they gave up on trying to have a logo.
yeah,
They
yeah.
completely gave up on having a logo. The classic the classic
I liked
one is gone,
No
long
Release.
gone.
No Release had a cool riff. It was very funky, kind of soulful. There was like a bit of interplay. Like I thought maybe this would be kind of like that strange kind of woman thing where, um, they start doing like a call and receive with like voice and guitar. I like the instrumental. I don't know how to say it. It's like the German thing.
Violet Dark Nacht.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Weil like das
Yeah.
nach Zeit
No,
thick.
it's all right. I think
Um,
that I kind of
it's just
I put it on the background while
yeah.
these albums are best.
I
I was in my garage woodworking, and
yeah
these were on in the background, and that was exactly what they needed to be. Because if I was forced to try and pay attention to them, I'd
yeah.
probably like them less.
Magic was
Uh,
not great. It's not great. Like that's
the
not the best song in the world. It's not.
Beethoven's Ninth was cheesy as
I
hell, but
loved
I'm
it.
kind of like,
I
this
loved
is
it.
what you should have been doing with this. This is what would have kept Dio in the band.
I loved Beethoven's Ninth thing. It made me feel it made me feel young and like just positive and optimistic for the future, and I loved it. It was cool. It was cool. Really cool sound. Don Airy sounded amazing on it. Um, I think I liked Midtown Tunnel Vision. It's a very Jersey song. I don't like New
Yeah,
Jersey.
well, nobody likes New Jersey except for Kevin Smith.
Comments
Um,
on Freedom Fighter and Can't Happen Here. People were like, "Wow, this is like so prophetic," and you know.
I
But I mean,
mean,
it's
maybe I
just
can't remember.
I don't know. It's well, it does have
Like what year?
like a
Okay, so
1984
what
type
years is
of
1980?
yeah,
This is
81.
like 19. Yeah,
Everyone's
yeah.
probably going like, man, it's almost 1984.
No, here's the thing. You're like what, like a year away from Merciful Fate releasing Melissa, and like Venom releasing
Yeah,
Welcome to Hell,
Overkill
and
next year.
Motorhead releasing, like,
Yeah,
it's there is by this point, like, I like these
it
records,
sounds
but
80s.
when they're talking
It does sound
when they
80s.
talk about, like, it sounds 80s, but at the same time, it's not, it's still not dangerous. It's not enough.
Yeah.
Spotlight Kids, some of these other songs that got double bass in them, you're like, okay, this is going somewhere. This is
Mm-hmm.
new. This is fresh. Um, but compared to what's going around, it's not there.
Yeah, sellout feel maybe. Um,
I don't even mean sellout. I just mean,
I'm just
uh,
looking at comments.
it's just it's just kind of a little bit tired.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to get some juice in the band, and it's like patching up something that might be falling apart. Joe Lynn Turner had 3 albums. It's like crazy. He had just as many albums as Dio. Straight Between the Eyes. This this is
This was
not.
my least favorite one.
This might well. I think. And the thing is, it's like Death Alley Driver.
Again, nothing,
Love that song.
nothing horrible. There's
There's
nothing
no bad,
horrible.
no bad album.
There's no,
4 out of
there's
9
nothing
for me.
bad. There's nothing I hate, but this is all like, especially, it's one thing to talk about now.
What were the songs you liked on this one?
It's all just one blob. It's
I
just a
love.
blob of,
I like
it's a
Death Alley
blob of,
Driver.
I liked it at first. I think I liked the vocals on the prior album better. I think
Yeah.
what it is that this is 70s rock being made in 1982 after Van Halen fucking came out. Like, it just, it does, there's no
Did Rainbow die
wild.
to Van Halen? That's the question.
I mean, maybe everybody died to Van Halen, but yeah, Van Halen is way better than any of these albums.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
but
the
but
thing
but
is,
it's
like
it's
beat. What was it?
it's
Beach. The ELP. Death Alley Driver is one of the best Rainbow songs. It's
I'll have to give it
definitely
another
not-
listen. I
Listen to that
didn't
one.
dislike it.
It's kind of highway. It's Highway Star, and the middle section. Oh man, I don't know if you. Let's give a little listen Um, I think it has that thing that you were talking with me about where there's this build up and then there's this like fight between the guitar and like the keyboards, and it kind of like, it does something afterwards that like changes the song. I think they do a key change. It's just like a, a, a whole tone key change or a semitone key change. I forget. Um, but it's a cool like metal type of thing that it's doing. Um, that's probably the best song on the album, though.
Yeah, I'll have to
Vocalist
check.
is
This
awful.
is
Joe Turner, nah. It,
these are just the albums where it just started to be like,
but
this is just this is just rock and it's fine.
yeah,
But
I don't care too much
this,
about Stone Cold. I know that's like one of the big hits. Tight
yeah, but how
Squeeze.
big of a hit? How big of a hit?
It's Joe Lynn Turner's big hit in Rainbow. You know,
so
but
not
I
that big of
Surrender
a
is
hit.
better. I Surrender is better.
Yeah.
Um,
It just this is
tell me
the
Power is good. Tell me Tight Squeeze is good. Like these aren't great songs. Power is not that good. Tight
well,
Squeeze.
this is
We've already heard LA
this,
Connection and One Man's Meat. Well, actually, we haven't heard One Man's Meat yet. But
this is the era where it has been clear for the last 5 years that Rainbow is too good to be the opening band, but they're not going to be drawing tickets to be the closing band.
yeah,
So they're the middle band, and it sounds like a middle band.
yeah, yeah. This
Like
is it. It's
all
kind
very
of.
good and professional, but not a lot of character.
I guess it really was difficult to cure.
Yeah, ha ha ha
Yeah,
ha ha
yeah.
ha.
There were like I need to give Miss Mistreated and Eyes of Fire another listen.
Eyes of Fire was probably the best
That might be the
song I
best.
heard,
Yeah,
but then I was like, hey, this is starting to get good, and then the album started over.
yeah, it's done.
Like
I
it,
do
it just
like.
it went through one ear out the other.
I do. I also like the music video of Death Alley Driver, like Richie Blackmore with like his. I don't know. He's in like an old timey car and he's like chasing after Joe Lynn Turner on a motorbike, I think, as well. And it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, just nobody sounds
Four
like
out
they're
of
having all that much fun.
it's there's little moments. There's moments. Not enough for a full album. Been Out of Shape. This might be my least favorite album.
Well, by this time, it's the same. This has been a battery that's just been slowly just draining down over 10
We've
years.
seen worse deaths, but
Oh yeah,
you
it's
know,
not that bad, but it's just by this point, we're talking extremely deep cuts from bands that the average rock fan isn't really gonna care about. This isn't they're not selling these t-shirts at Walmart. Like this
yeah.
isn't a casual listen for the
Ben,
vast majority of people. This is a very forgotten record. I thought
mhm.
Fire Dance was really cool.
Fire Dance is cool. Street of Dreams is that's a nice. I know Joe Lynn Turner specifically likes that one.
I
Stranded
did
was
think of
okay.
something. I did think of something while listening to this that you know who actually you know which power metal band sounds like they have the most rainbow in them is actually Symphony X.
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
Like that's why well like that Phrygian sort of riff thing
Hmm.
that they do all the time. Russell Allen kind of having that style of these guys, but a little bit better. And so that's basically by this point, like I keep saying that they're not bad, but it's to the point where I can find so many other bands that kind of do this style and do it better. And I don't even love all of Symphony X's stuff, but it's like I would have jumped ship 4 albums ago and like Divine Wings, a tragedy or something by this
Yeah.
point.
Um,
Not in terms of like if it when it came out. I'm just as a listener now, I would have like already gotten my fill out of the band and moved on to something a little bit more substantial.
yeah. Yeah, weird album cover. I don't understand with like the lady and the twisted kind of thing. Like it,
Do you
the
get it?
identity, the identity
It's bent
is,
out of shape.
yeah, it's been out of shape. Like, fold this vinyl because only half of it is okay. I like the Snowman instrumental.
This is
Do
an
you know
album.
Snowman? Have you ever watched that? Did you watch that as a kid?
Wait, yeah, I didn't recognize that that was on this. Is that Walking in the Air?
Yes.
Is that what that
Dun
is?
dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun
Let
dun
me see.
dun dun dun. Yeah, it's based off the Snowman. That like story.
Oh yeah.
I used to watch that when I was a kid. That was like the comfort thing, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
No,
like that one. I like it.
Nightwish.
It kind
Nightwish
of
did
has
a cover of that song.
it's like it's kind of a it has almost like a dark sound to
But
it,
is
like
that
very
the
sad.
I'm walking in the air,
Yeah.
da da
Na,
da da
yeah.
na 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 na. Oh,
Na.
I didn't even catch that's what that was
Yeah,
from.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but yeah,
So,
no, Nightwish has a good cover of that song, and then Woods of Infinity is like a weird
hmm,
Finnish black metal band that covered that song. So that's like a lot of people have covered that song. I didn't
yes.
recognize that this was one of them.
Yeah, yeah. So that I put on I had to put that in there. I can't turn, you can't I can't turn my back on the Snowman. I don't know. It's just a
It's
there I have room at least for some pretty things like, where it's like, okay, this is nice. And like Richie doesn't really show that often, I think, where it's like, oh, this is just like a little nice thing. Like it's like, what is it like? Like I don't see Richie like petting a dog or a cat or something. Like I don't know. I don't really get that much, and so it's yeah.
I
I
mean,
know
the
he was like going through like divorces around this time, and I think there might
is
have
I
been.
think he was just going through divorces his entire professional career, whether or not it was with band members or what. So I can't. I think it's just Richie being Richie.
This has been out of shape. Been out of shape.
Yeah,
Don
I
Fillinger.
think this is the point though where I gotta say, like, if you take Rise, we're like 7 albums in,
Mm-hmm.
and if you take Rising out of this, that's 6 out of 6 albums are mid-tier 5 out of 10s.
Yeah.
Nothing's bad, nothing's bad,
Yeah.
but like even the best of the best is not like
I I
I
like
don't think
I
I
have
like it. It's fine.
here's kind of my scoring so far. Debut was 4 out of 9. So that's like mid. Rising 5 out of 6. We could just say 6 out of 6. That was excellent. Also, these are like 30-minute albums, so it's like super easy to listen to.
Oh yeah, that's why he's able to just knock them out.
Long Live Rock and Roll, I had a 6 out of 8. Down to Earth, 6 out of 8. Difficult to Cure, 6 out of 9. Little less. Straight Between the Eyes, 4 out of 9. Bent Out of Shape, 4 out of 10. Starting to get a little. Hmm. Um.
I mean, so what I basically got is you got I have 2 albums. One of them is Rising, and the other one is a CDR that I made with the all the other songs that I like, and that's it. I don't need a single one of these albums as an album outside of Rising.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
And
like
there's a and hell, even Deep Purple, the only album that I need is Fireball
Fireball.
as a studio album because everything on Machine Head is better live on Made in Japan. Everything on In Rock that I like is better on Made in Japan. So
Yeah. Um. So there's like a big. It's like 12 years pass somehow, and I'm not really sure what all
oh the
happened
90s
here.
one.
Oh, because it was Deep Purple's reunion. That's what happened. There was like a few albums where Richie went back to Deep Purple, and then Stranger in
Yeah,
the
I mean
Soul.
I barely could even like listen to the 90s one. It's like there's so many bands that did a 90s album that were it was over. And it's so
You
very
tapped out at
obviously
this
just a
point.
solo album.
This is at least like a cooler looking cover. Richie in his hat, his
I mean,
Bloodborne hat.
this I'm imagining that Richie is kind of like doing like a Steven Seagal thing, where he's like, or like a Gene Simmons, like, I need to get a soul patch because it's 1995. Like, I'm just
He's
imagining him
always had a
trying to be
pilgrim
cool
hat.
one last time.
He's always
I'm
had a
trying to
pilgrim.
imagine him being cool one
Yeah,
last time.
maybe. Yeah. Um, it's So they get Doogie White, who's a Scottish singer. Um, they had like one of his tapes. They had it in the shelf for a long time, and I think Candace Knight might have somebody mentioned, "Hey, you got this like cassette," and so he's like, "Oh, well, I guess I'll put something together." And it was like pressure. It was label pressure. Hey, you got to do Rainbow again. He's like, "All right, I'll get Doogie. I'll get Greg Smith, Paul Morris." I don't know
I
who's
just
got
don't
it.
think that the best quality of Richie Blackmore is also the worst quality. I just don't think that he cared that much.
Yeah,
I think he really liked playing guitar, and but I don't think that he really liked. I mean, it's evidenced by his output. It's like I don't think he liked working too hard. I don't think he liked. I think he wanted to
no,
retard max everything and just get it done.
yeah,
And so you weren't ever get like I think that he was capable. I'm not even saying he'd be better if he made a big prog 20-minute long song or whatever that, but I
yeah.
feel like,
He'd rather that
you
be
know,
spontaneous.
after like Stargazer, it was more like, and I even met a couple people. I remember I used to be friends with a band who made like straightforward Manowar, um, Judas Priest, like mid-tempo rockers. Great band. And then they spent all of their time and money writing these two like progressive power metal songs, and they were genius, but they couldn't really play them live, and they were difficult to play, and they were so tired after it that they were like, dude, all I want to play is Living After Midnight. I never want to play that stuff ever again. And while I get it, I'm just like, you gave it one try and you succeeded, and you said, oh, I'm not doing that again. And that's why I'm such a big fan of progressive rock, is because these guys just keep on seeing, like John Anderson. Oh man, we just wrote a 20-minute long song. That was hard. Let's do it 4 times.
Yeah,
Like it's so stupid. Or Genesis or Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd. Yeah, you know what? Maybe a simple album like Wish You Were Here. Okay, well we'll have a 10-minute long um intro just with synth. Oh, okay. Like it's. I don't think that Richie was very interested in challenging music,
he
and I
this
say that only off of his output,
yeah, like, well, now he's
and
like
I think it
kind of doing
suffered.
Renaissance. He's now doing Renaissance stuff, but like this album, it has like a darker sound, um, but it's also like it's just not as good as the older ones. There's some alright stuff. I think Wolf to the Moon is fine. Ariel is maybe like the one that like, oh, that's the last like good thing that he did or something. Or Black Masquerade.
Well,
All the Mountain King's
how many
fun.
bands?
But
How many bands from the late '60s, early '70s? How many of them do you know thrived in the '90s? And that's a genuine question. Like
yeah.
any of them?
Yeah, really like nobody. I don't know.
Like maybe it was Agent Plan, like when they came back.
Hmm.
But I'm trying to think. Like it's just everybody kind of from that era kind of sucked.
It just
Um,
well, and like I think looking at
the '90s
he's
Jethro Tull stuff is actually
this
pretty
is
good.
he threw this together cuz like okay, after Straight Between the Eyes, it's Perfect Strangers 1984.
And
And I
that's a great song.
great
I
it's a
don't know
great
if the
album.
I don't
The
even know
album's
if
good.
yeah I've never actually listened. I've never
Um
listened to the whole album. I've been
I
putting it off for years.
I like yeah, I like most I think I like most of the stuff. Like there's good riffs. Gypsy's Kiss is one of the great Like it's an amazing one. Wasted Sunsets is nice. Ian Gillan has a different sound to him. Knocking at Your Back Door is awesome. Um, I think Mean Streak is pretty cool. It's they got like energy again. It's like they hadn't been
Right.
around. They got some energy. House of the Blue Light. I don't. I don't know.
I feel like
It's not good.
most 80s Rainbow really was actually perfected in two songs by Quiet Riot.
Yeah.
Like as in that 80s style that they were going for, that like I said at the beginning of kind of this conversation, like
Hmm.
I don't think that I'm being facetious when I talk about like Joe Lynn Turner, Jeff Scott Soto, this sort of like generic powerful 80s singer where you're not being sleaze metal, but you're not being hard rock like Rush,
Yeah.
or you're not being pop. It's still rock. It's just it's kind of not going anywhere. And
Yeah.
I think
It's
that there's flashes of brilliance. Like you and I have said that like Heaven Tonight by Ingve
Ingve. Yeah.
is one of the greatest like pop metal songs of the 80s. It's better than like to me that song is better
Love that album.
um than any Def Leppard or
The
Scorpions
thing
sort of
is,
power pop
the thing
song.
is,
But
Rising. Like okay, so like looking at Odyssey, you could probably put in different singers, plug them in, and it would still sound good. Rising Force. Ingve wrote that when he was like 14,
right.
but it's main track on Odyssey, and you know Hold On to
Yeah.
Heaven Tonight. I played Hold On last night. Heaven Tonight's great.
Oh yeah,
Dreaming Tell
Hold On's
Me.
good. I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of
Ride
getting
in the
at like
Dungeons, like
if I,
excellent riff. Deja
if
Vu's
I
cool.
was if somebody came up to me and like they heard Rainbows Rising and they were like, "Oh man, what do I do next?" The last thing I would do is tell them to listen to more Rainbow. I would tell them to listen to Ingve's stuff,
Yeah.
and I would tell them to listen to Halloween
Mm-hmm.
because that's where it's going. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and this is listening. I heard Rising for the first time after it had been out for 30 years, but it was a missing link in sort of the Darwinian evolution of metal from like Black Sabbath to
Yeah.
like how did we get from there to get to like Blind Guardian or
Now it's
Symphony
them, yeah.
X. And Rainbows Rising, I can hear it happening in real time. Everything after that, from Long Live Rock and Roll all the way up to like the 90s stuff, like we said, none of it's bad. It's all perfectly serviceable rock and roll because you and I are both rock and roll fans.
Yeah.
So we are going to forgive it for not being special. But what it does though is that by not going forward it and staying stagnant, it turns out that it just goes backwards. So now listening to these albums from the 80s, I'm listening to them almost like as a time capsule of like I'm in an 80s rock mood.
Yeah.
So I'm going to listen to some 80s rock versus a genuinely great album from the 80s um
It's not pushing
like
anything.
Merc, well, it's not pushing anything and it doesn't jump out of the time that it's in. I think that the two the two big Merciful Fate albums, they don't sound like, oh, these are really great for 1982. No, they're great for heavy metal.
Yeah.
Rising, great for heavy metal, great for hard rock. The rest, yeah, it's good and it sounds like the time it's there. And if I'm going down memory lane,
Yeah.
then I'll listen to them. Kind of the same thing at the beginning. Like Elf sounds really funny for a band from 1965. The only problem is that they were from 1972.
Yeah.
Like they sound like if it was 1965, I would have been like, oh, this is cool. But the fact that it's even just 7 years later, you're like, oh, you guys are still doing this?
Yeah. Not forward thinking so much. It's just
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with, being stuck in like doing one thing very well. But if you're gonna be stuck, it it better be the best thing ever. And there are
Yeah.
so many better,
It
better, better bands, so many better records.
really, like, Deep Purple Mark II stops at Perfect Strangers. I couldn't tell you House of Blue Light is any good. I haven't really listened to Slaves and Masters. I know some people in chat like that. Might
All
even
I
consider it
remember
the
is that
Lost Rainbow album, you know.
well, when
Um,
I saw them live, they played Rapture of the Deep, and that seemed like a pretty cool song. Never listened to the album though.
that one, man, that's like 2005.
No, I saw them in like 2008.
Yeah. Steve
Uh,
Morse,
or Bananas.
Bananas. Yeah,
You
Bananas.
know,
We gotta
that would
figure
have
out Bananas.
yeah, that would have been that's what Rainbow needed. Is it just needed a Bananas like
Needed
left
Bananas.
turn.
Well, I discussed the last Rainbow song he did with Ronnie Romero. No. No,
I didn't know that we're like
Well, yeah,
well,
that's the long. You know what? And that's the longest era of Rainbow is with Ronnie Romero. But like
mm,
everybody, I don't know. It's like people get upset that like Richie just sort of threw together Rainbow and was like, "All right, we played for like an hour and 10 minutes. We're done."
well, I mean, because Rainbow realistically was just Richie Blackmore and friends, or actually not even friends, Richie Blackmore and a hired band. Any other guy would have just put himself front and center,
I
but Richie
mean,
Blackmore obviously did not want to be an instrumental
it's
act.
like
But if he
they're
was,
live, they're live albums and live performances and stuff, but like the albums are done. Like the
well,
albums are
I
done.
think
I don't even
the
know
band didn't.
Rainbow Vorwart. I mean, there's an EP Rainbow Vorwarts. I can't even click
Like
it on Wikipedia. I don't even know.
the band just fizzled
The
out. It's
Storm?
just
Is it called The Storm? I haven't
let me
even heard
see.
this.
Well, let me check on Metal Archives because that'll be like
The
everything.
Storm. Okay, so is this like the last? This is the
The
last
last
one.
song.
This is the
is
EP. Richie Blackmore's Rainbow. This is like 9 minutes. Waiting for a
There's
sign.
well,
Let's hear it.
okay, so Rainbow. Well,
Do you want to listen to this?
well, let me see if we're talking about the same thing. I've got Rainbow Borewarts.
Yeah, I saw that.
Um, and it's the Rainbow Rising album cover. And all I see is Black Sheep of the Family, Waiting for a Sign, and The Storm. And The Storm is a Blackmore's Night cover.
Okay, so it's not even.
I mean, I don't let me see. What's the last song of Rainbow? These are so bad
that's
digital album covers.
Yeah, this is like 2019, but it looks like it's like a PS1 or like not even PS1, it's a Windows 95 game cover. The Chapel.
Yeah,
The Chapel.
I'm
You
not-
ready to play the Doom clone, The Chapel? You ready to play Myst?
I
wanna
don't know if
play
I can
Riven?
hear it. I don't know if I can hear it when you play it, but you can try.
I guess you could.
Like who's on this? I mean, yeah, Ronnie Romero. Let's see, what else has Ronnie Romero done? Okay, let me see. All right, from Chile. There's where a lot of
throwing on the thing.
power metal vocals are from. Let's see, past bands. Yeah, never heard of
Honey
it.
chili, green chili.
Yeah. They do Black Sheep of the Family again. He just keeps on trying. No, I think at this point it's whatever Richard Blackmore wants to
Blackmore's
do, he
night.
can do, but it's just he doesn't have to do anything.
So this is from like the third or fourth. It's from like the third or fourth Blackmore's Night, The Storm.
Which I'll definitely
It's
give
not-
the,
like, I mean,
the
it-
Blackmore's
it
Night
just-
stuff a listen at some point.
Yeah, I fell asleep to the first album. Like it
Isn't that kind
doesn't-
of what it's for?
I think it's for that. Like, it kind of reminds me. You ever played Near Automata? It kind of reminds me of like the town themes, where it's just kind
It's
of like
it's
pleasant.
it's just Dungeons and Dragons background music.
Yeah, but like nothing hard or anything. It's just kind of pleasant. You know, Candace Night sounds fine. Um,
Is it just the Baldur's Gate soundtrack?
just like the town themes. Nothing like, you
Well,
know,
right. It's
just
just
kind of
like
pretty and
it's,
nothing to like. It's like it's almost like if you just pulled up like a just like a lo-fi and chill kind of thing where like you're not
it's
gonna
yeah,
get you're
that's
not
what
gonna
I
it's not gonna
expected.
pull you're not gonna pull focus, you know.
No, it sounded exactly like the sort of thing that you put on while you're cleaning out your inventory menu in Baldur's Gate 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're you're lining up all of your potions so that, you know, when you quick bind all of your potions so that once you start taking damage in hell, you slide your fingers on the number keys like Fats Domino,
Yeah,
and
that's basically
and
exactly what I anticipated.
you use all of your potions accidentally.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that it's funny. I think that Rainbow ended the same way that this conversation's ending. It was like, oh yeah, and I guess that they just stopped doing anything.
It's kind of that, yeah. I mean, is that is Waiting for a Sign Blackmore's Night? Waiting Just for You. Was this like a real?
I'm sure the fans were just clamoring for new material.
I mean, I'm not really. It was a standalone single song. I'm listening to it right now, Waiting for a Sign.
And I'll check it out too.
Little Hog Swaggling. Heavy blues.
I mean, it's not even on Apple Music, which is what I use.
Ronnie was in Sunstorm. He replaced Joe Lynn Turner.
It's funny if you check the Catch the Rainbow, the anthology. The anthology is almost all of just the songs that we picked,
Yeah.
and that's it. Like a couple more, just to fill out, you know, the double album. But
Yeah, I haven't heard this song, Waiting for a
They'll-
Sign. It's kind of...
the very best of Rainbow only has one song from Rising on it.
Really?
It doesn't even have Long Live Rock and Roll on it. I'm just looking at all the very best that are on.
Well, Catch the Rainbow, Starstruck,
Well,
Stargazer.
they're just really trying to sell up the 80s albums. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
saying they're not good, but it's like the idea that you'd have more songs off any of those albums than Rising is insane. It's kind of like if you ever sell a very best of Yes, you'll notice that it basically just includes everything off of Fragile and everything off of Close to the Edge. It's
Yeah.
like they know that the only way to sell this is to basically just take off one song arbitrarily.
Yeah.
So
This...
these very best ofs, I'm like,
this waiting
Like-
for a sign song. I mean, if this is like the last Rainbow song, I mean, this is kind of just it's a whatever song. Like, I don't mean to be rude. It just,
If Richie Blackmore wanted to do something good, he'd do something good.
he'd do something good if he wanted to. He's played better. You know, it's not playing bad. It's just kind of,
Oh, he's probably played better 100 times, right?
yeah. Ronnie Romero on this song. Love this guy. I mean, that guy sounds good. It's kind of like, I don't know if he's in Lords of Black. He's from Power Metal. It's a throwaway. Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's
Ronnie
what I'm saying.
Romero's
That
probably good. It's like he needs to be with like a younger band, and you know,
Well, and with a lot of these sort of bands, because you get this with power metal now that everyone's old and fat, and there's no young power
Yeah.
metal bands. It's going to be like, if you're going to be playing against the power metal crowd, which let's face it, these guys playing in a band like Richie Blackmore's Rainbow saying it's power metal, it's not really. It's just they're trying to go for the European crowd
yeah,
that'll take more of that. But is it better than Halloween or Sonata Arctica or Blind Guardian or Angra or any of these? Nah, it just ain't.
no.
It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I mean,
But,
I
you know-
also just feel like it's a different weight class. You know, it's a different era. Like, you know,
I listen to okay bands on. I find okay bands every day.
yeah,
You got to be better than okay.
yeah,
And like that's the big thing. It's like death metal. There's every day I find a cool new death metal band, but it's only like one out of every 50 that I actually remember to listen to.
yeah,
And you know what? There's a bunch of cool shit out there. Same with black metal, same with any of them, but especially sort of hard rock that's not pop and isn't going to go harder. Like you've got to have a really charismatic singer to step out because every guitar player can shred. So you got to have really, really good riffs. You got to have really great vocal melodies and big old choruses.
Always felt Blackmore's Night is Richie's retirement band. He's
Yeah,
played
I think
festivals. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like I can only just
Uh,
look and be like, well,
Robert Fripp
he's
playing with his wife.
Robert Fripp playing with Toya. It's like, okay, these gentlemen have won at life. You know, they've already beat the game, and it's just, you know, I'm not gonna like. Yeah. Okay, I heard the last Rainbow song. I didn't like it. Like, I mean, we were talking, but like, it wasn't like oh man, that was like memorable. This was just kind of, it's fine. It's fine. Like, you know,
Like,
nothing sounded bad, but it's like, it didn't, like, it's just kind of like, just a.
Oh, did
a
you hear
thumping-
that? Did you hear that Metallica made a new album and they're going back to their thrash metal roots?
No, you
It's
aren't.
actually pretty good. It's not.
It's not.
Oh, this new Megadeth album, like Dave's vocals got better.
All right.
Oh, this new Dream Theater album, James's voice actually sounds pretty good. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's over.
Yeah. Let's see.
It's
So
over.
I'm gonna make a new playlist, the Rainbow Picks. And I'm just gonna click through this playlist of Rainbow. It probably doesn't have that last song I just listened to. But
I accidentally just found out that on Apple Music, the compilation of Rainbow Catch the Rainbow, the anthology. That's basically it for me.
yeah,
It's got a couple there that I don't remember, but it's like
Rainbow made like 78 songs or something like that. About 70 something. I think 40 of those songs are fine.
I could have
Like I
what is
counted,
it?
like I tallied up my little tally, and it's like, yeah, you know. He's a nakane. He's a nakane. Konnichiwa. Okay. 聞いてくれてありがとうございました。なんか、友達と一緒に、レインボーの音楽をについてを話してるね。So
Oni-chan.
you speak English? Okay, great. We're just talking about Rainbow. So we're kind of wrapping up our discussion.
Rainbow's Rising is one of the greatest albums of all time, and all the other albums are some of the albums of all time. They are albums, and they are in time, and they did happen,
Okay,
and they're not bad
not
at
bad.
all.
You know what? I mean, probably a little bit better than Emerson, Lake and Palmer, where it's just Tarkus.
I still like
Was Carnival or was it?
yeah, off of Brain Salad Surgery, but Emerson, Lake and Palmer sucks.
Yeah.
But they're great, but they really suck. Like out of any of the classic progressive rock bands, they are easily the most infuriatingly stupid. But I cannot deny that,
Man,
like,
what a wild group.
but I cannot deny that when they lock in, I go, oh darn, I can't stop listening to this.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. I don't want it to be good because it's not. That way, when they do something good and I go, well, that's one of the best things I ever heard. I
Yeah.
guess I better listen to the rest of it, and then it sucks.
Yeah.
But so Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It's not Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It's not really like a guilty pleasure. It's more of like two sides. Actually, they're a great band to counter against Rainbow because Emerson, Lake and Palmer only does extremes. It's either very good
Mhm.
or it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
torn. I'm
What was it, Jimmy the
continually
Preacher?
torn.
What was it called? I don't remember.
No, Benny the Bouncer.
Benny the Bouncer. Yeah.
Like they're
terrible.
trying to do like this little vaudeville like shtick, and you're like, this is so lame.
This sucks. Yeah.
But Tarkus is so great. Or Toccata is like so great. Carnival Part 2, like the piano break, is so great. And then it's lame. Rainbow, however, Past Rising, they don't have any really bad extremes, but they don't have a lot of great extremes. They have some solid
Yeah.
material, and I think that every single thing that they did past Rising was done better than other bands, done better by other bands.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Like
kind of
I'm a
like
Judas Priest fan, so like
it. Like you're not gonna get much evolution from Richie Blackmore. You know, like he wasn't gonna get like suddenly like insane chops, but like he just kind of phoned in here and there, and he had some flashes of brilliance, but he just kind of stopped in the early mid 80s and was, I mean, he had one last good album with Deep Purple, and then just was like, I'm done.
But it also sounded like an accident.
He phoned it in for 10 years and was like, okay, Candace Knight, let's make sleepy music.
Yeah, and you know what? That's fine. And like Deep Purple in Japan, one of my absolute favorite live albums ever. And Fireball is one of my favorite songs of all time. And then the rest of the album kind of is very good, but it lies on the strength of that opener.
Yeah.
But Rising, yeah, it's like Tyranny Mutation, like the first Captain Beyond album, like the first Starcastle album. These are like bands who really nailed it once.
Yeah.
Leaf Hound has a great self-titled.
Captain Beyond was a lawsuit band. You know, they really only got that one, and it really inhibited them, and it just wasn't gonna get much more than that.
Here's an interesting argument, because I know your answer, but I don't know what my answer is. Is the Captain Beyond album as good as or better than Rising?
I think I think Rising. I think Rising has more strong moments of individual members of the band. Captain Beyond is very dense with riffs, and it's very solid. It's very solid.
Right,
Rising is
Rising
kind of like
has Stargazer.
uniqueness. Yeah, it
It
has
has
Stargazers.
Stargazer.
There is a uniqueness to Rising that Captain Beyond doesn't really have. It's kind of like, oh, that's just everybody putting in their stuff, and but it's not like a. It's really strong fundamentals, really strong meat and potatoes. Rising is like only Dio, only Richie, only Tony Carey, like
Keyboard guy, Cozy
keyboard
Powell.
guy, Cozy Powell. Like it's
Like,
just a special sound. That's kind of what I think. So like in terms of just like uniqueness, I think Rising wins out on that. But god damn, Raging River of Fear.
I think that
So cool.
Well, I think that Stargazer to me, because like, okay, Black Sabbath, oh, it's the birth of heavy metal. And then I'm sure that you've heard this a million times. I'm sure that you've heard some nerd being like, actually, if you think about it, Helter Skelter by the Beatles is a heavy metal song. You go, no, it's not. Oh, well, if you think about it, Jimi Hendrix was heavy metal. Yeah. No, Black Sabbath, what the difference is
Corn
that
Pop Shapoppy did it first in
sure,
1942.
Black Sabbath, first heavy metal band, great, but at, it's harder to see the link between what Sabbath was doing and how heavy metal progressed with like Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, new wave of British heavy metal. It's like it's kind of hard to see where it went from sludgy heroin Vietnam War doom metal that Sabbath was doing to Judas Priest. And I think that Stargazer is like when heavy metal became heavy metal, not just Sabbath being Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's critics like, oh well, Led Zeppelin was heavy metal, and you're like, yeah, I think
Hard
like
rock, I would say. Yeah.
it. But you can hear in the Immigrant Song, you can hear, oh, that's the beginning of heavy metal. You can hear it starting to happen in Song by Song. In Bloister Cult, in Seven Screaming Disbusters, you can hear, oh, that's the beginning of heavy metal. It's starting to come out. But then they go back into rock and roll.
Yeah.
And that's and Rainbow did that too. They made Stargazer, they created epic heavy metal, and then they immediately went straight back into doing hard rock.
I wonder how much of this was like label pressure versus like Richie or Dio kind of like second guessing.
I think it's just what happened. I don't think it was.
Yeah.
I don't think it was on purpose. I think they just wrote what they were going to write,
Mm-hmm.
and it happened by accident.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's like, don't do a Stargazer again.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing like another great example like Sabbath, for as many things as they did. When you listen to like Symptom of the Universe, that sounds like a completely different sort of heavy than Sabbath had been doing before. Like it just sounds like, oh, this is the beginning of like speed metal. It's happening.
Yeah.
So I think that Rainbow Rising is like the ultimate proto metal record. Everything else is fine, but it's backwards hard rock, and that's fine. I like a lot of backwards hard rock, but there are countless bands who do it better, whether or not they are a more famous band or if they are a much less famous band, like all of the random one-hit YouTube wonders that people are finding now and that are like finally getting recognized. I love a lot of those albums, and I think that they're better than a lot of the more mainstream stuff. But it sounds like to me, Rainbow was a working band playing working man music, and let's get out there and have some songs to tour.
Yeah, let's fill up our set. Let's let's just get a verse and a chorus together, and
Yeah, so I respect it. That's why I don't hate on it. But I don't think that they are one of the great.
It's not inspiring. Yeah,
They're not one of the great rock and roll stories.
yeah. To me, it's like they like rich like because I found Rainbow after studying a bit of Ingve and then going to like Deep Purple, and then it's like, well, okay, then there's this Richie Blackmore's Rainbow group. So I'm kind of following guitar players more than like singers, or like, oh, this band is like got me, and I'm like,
Right.
but
Well, and
and I kind of pick up, oh, here's the best songs. I mean, I guess a lot of people kind of find like their greatest hits thing first, and so it's like, oh, well, look at all these great hits, and that's, you know what, and that's kind of like a lot of what people can hope for is like, well, you got a bunch of greatest hits.
well, and even then, if you go to like contemporary rock radio, I'll make a guess right now, and I'd say that probably for 90% of the world, "Man on the Silver Mountain" might as well be the only Rainbow song, as
Pretty
far as
much.
most people are concerned.
Yeah,
Um, and I even
I'm
since
leaning
you've
too
been
far
gone,
back.
or since I surrender, or since you've been gone, like you and I recognize those songs. Like, oh yeah, I've heard this before. But even the genre of like arena rock singles that those are in can't hold a candle to the best arena rock singles, like
Yeah.
the Quiet Riot's "Come On Feel the Noise," or Def Leppard's "Photograph," or any of that stuff. And I'm not even the biggest fan of that stuff, but
Hmm.
like at that point I'd rather just listen to Journey. Like um Separate Ways, Worlds Apart is a cooler hard rock, almost heavy metal song than what Rainbow is doing. So
Yeah.
it's like, and I'm a big
Would you
fan.
consider Neil Sean kind of more '80s guitar, even though they kind of were like what, late '70s?
But he played in Santana, and then he
Mm.
got yeah, he played it with Santana near the end of the 70s, and they were kind of an earlier bluesy
Yeah.
rock kind of prog band, not really going anywhere. And they got um then they got Steve Perry.
Oh,
So actually that's a great example, is like
so he's kind of been
Jour-
around. Yeah, for sure.
well, and so Neil Sean really knew how to keep a band together. They were just looking for that one guy, and they were looking for the right kind of song. And like that's a great example. Like these Joe Lynn Turner, Graham Bond, all these perfectly good singers. But is it Steve Perry? No.
Hmm.
Steve
Yeah.
Perry is just a commanding presence who can go above
Yeah.
Neil Sean. And I don't think that any of these guys were able to quite overshadow Richie Blackmore, and that's what made Dio so great. And like I said, my introduction to Rainbow was very similar to you. Pre YouTube kind of era. I only ever heard of them in like Guitar Pro magazine or something, with Ingve maybe talking about it, getting into Deep Purple, finding out he has another band. It's called Rainbow. What 14-year-old
Hmm.
wants to listen to Rainbow? I'm not going to listen to that. And I hear it's got Dio, and I'm like, okay, but even Dio's like solo stuff, like Rambo in the Dark and Holy Diver, perfectly good
I
songs. But
wonder if
like,
there's other songs that like I don't know, like, because I would say, did you find any songs that kind of surprised you as far as like going through all these? Like, was there any like, I'll go back and listen to that?
there was stuff that I thought that I would go, okay, this is pretty good, and I'll go back and listen to it. But like Lost in Hollywood,
I think Light in the
um,
Black, that's one.
one I knew that one to begin with, but I don't think that there's a single one of these songs that has like outside of Rising, nothing has broken into like my regular rotation.
Yeah.
Maybe the song "Long Live Rock and Roll," uh, but even then, it's not like
Yeah.
when I
There's a
found
couple.
Captain
I
when
think
I
I
found
found a
Captain
couple.
Beyond. When I found Captain Beyond, I was like, oh, this is what I've been searching for. when I found Leaf Hound, I was like, oh, this is what I've been searching for. And I'm always on the lookout, or like the first time I ever heard Camel, like, oh, this is what I've been, or Cactus,
Yeah.
like, oh, this is what I've been looking for. This is really cool and kind of weird and underground. And Rainbow is just right in the middle. It's not underground, but it's also not quite mainstream enough. It's just like we've said probably 800 times by now. It's good. It's fine. And sometimes that can be worse than just being bad. Like Emerson,
Yep.
Lake and Palmer is a way worse band.
Catastrophic death. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean
Emerson,
the
Lake and
meme,
Palmer is like
the trope that I have my own tropes for when we do these, and like I say, there's sort of like the litmus test. Does this band survive 1978? And like what came out in 1978 it was Van Halen 1. And if your prog band die, like a lot of prog bands die that year, they do something. It just seems so old fashioned or just ridiculous where it's like, yeah, there's just nobody should be listening to this, or it's like who's really like, who's really going on about this. It's
well, there's like a good example is like Rush has a lot of material that I don't like as much as the typical Rainbow song, but it's going up and down. It's got they're doing a lot of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, or ooh. I never am kind of in the middle. With Rainbow is the most middle hard rock band I've ever heard in my life.
yeah.
And that's fine. I'm kind of happy to have found that. But what it really solidifies to me is that you can be a band that goes on for 40 years, and the only thing that matters is like 1 3 month period
Yeah.
when you happen to accidentally write one of the best albums ever.
They're and I would put Rainbow in that. They were like a 10-year, 8-year band. They
Well, I
it
think
was a
I don't
short
even think it was a
little.
band. I think it was Richie Blackmore wants to go and tour, and he doesn't just like it was
Hmm.
called Richie Blackmore's Rainbow. It
Yeah,
should have just been the entire time Richie Blackmore.
yeah,
The only time it ever sounded like a band was when it was with Dio. Everything else just sounded like
hired gun.
a right. And like if everybody does that, like
Yeah,
does Jeff Loomis's solo albums sound like Nevermore, except for the part that makes Nevermore
yeah.
interesting? Like, does that make sense?
Of the
It's
yeah,
not bad.
Dio probably of all the singers. I mean, he took the most issue with kind of how things were going, and I think he made the strongest statement.
Well, and
Graham, there
he sounded
wasn't
like he
any
was willing to
music.
argue.
Yeah, like he was willing to argue. He was willing to like try to maintain what they were trying to do. Graham, there was like inactivity, and he's like, "Well, nothing is happening. I'm showing up to the studio. Nobody's doing anything, so I'm gonna leave." And I forget Joe Lynn Turner. I
He's
don't
just in a
know.
band.
He's
He's
in
in
a
eight
band.
bands in the '80s, and this is the current one.
Yeah, and like it
Like,
probably. Well, I think he went into Ingve, and then Richie kind of. Well, Richie went to Deep Purple, and Ingve had a car accident. Oh wait, that was a few years later, so it was kind of
yeah.
just you know
But
Rainbow's
I'm like,
done.
if you're into Rising, you're better off listening to Styx than listening to '80s Rainbow.
Yeah,
Like, you're gonna get more of what you probably came for by listening to
there's
Styx.
some. I will say there are some like if you're getting into Ingve playing, Rainbow is a good training wheels to like build up some of those chops, like Death
Oh,
Alley Driver,
absolutely.
Spotlight Kid, and there's some things like it is a good, yeah, Man on the Silver Mountain. There are
Yeah.
some good building blocks to that, and
Right.
it can give you,
I would just say that do that after you've learned all of Rising because
yeah,
it's better.
yeah. Just learn
It's
Rising.
just it. Like, I hate to sound like a broken record, but Rising is that good, and everything else is that much not as good as Rising. It's fine. it's fine, but it's not as good. And
So I
and
made a
I'm
playlist. I made the playlist. I just like went through the whole discography and I clicked some tunes that I felt were good and great. And I think we had pretty much similar thoughts on like what
yeah, honestly,
you
I think
know.
90% of the songs we picked were the same. You're more forgiving than I am, um,
Well, and
but that's because
I like I gotta I
you
gotta
like the
I gotta
band more than I do.
I gotta stretch out content.
Yeah, yeah. You like the
I gotta
well.
play live streams, you know.
It'd be like if you were saying like, Jason, what would your Metallica playlist like a greatest hits be? I'd go, oh, the album Ride the
Ride the
Lightning.
Lightning. That's it. Yeah,
It would just be the album.
yeah.
Oh, well, what about
You're
Master of
looking.
Puppets? Oh, well, we could listen to the album Master of Puppets too.
Yeah, you're looking for the best.
I'm an album guy.
I yeah
It depends. It's like,
I want some riffs. I want some kind of interesting thing that if it's like a somewhat interesting riff, I like learning that. I like playing that.
yeah.
Maybe if
There
it's
are
fun to
few
sing.
bands. There are few bands that I enjoy that can't nail the album and are more greatest hits. Journey is one of them. I don't like any of the Journey albums, but I love their greatest hits. Iron Maiden, not a fan of really any of their albums, but I love their greatest hits. Um, Ozzy, like honestly,
There's some good
a
songs.
a a great the essential like the two disc greatest hits of Ozzy Osbourne has 90% of anything that you'll ever need. It might be missing one or two songs, but
Yeah.
like if you and I were to talk about our favorite Ozzy songs, I guarantee you we'd be able to just guess what they are because it's got like I'm sure you like Shot in the Dark, right? Or like Bark at the Moon.
I like Little Dolls.
Little Dolls is all right,
It's all right.
but
You know,
or but our
Suicide Solution. I don't know. It's like
yeah, Suicide Solutions on there. But
yeah.
is it like, but am I saying, yeah, but what about Mr. Tinker Train? It's like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's not no, it's no more tears.
Yeah. It's not digging in the balls, you know. Um all right, I guess we've talked enough about Rainbow. Are we done with this band? we've exhausted the band.
Well,
What do we do next?
I mean, this is on you because there's a million of these bands I could do. I've been trying to get you to listen to Genesis for years, and I still don't think you're going to do it. Um, Rush, I think that we can listen to if we wanted to not like Rush as much.
Yeah.
Because
That's one
because
of those
I
bands where
love
it's like, hey, you want to play this Rush song? And I'm like, okay, I've never heard it. And like, I just pull up a chord chart and start playing along. And I'm like, oh, that was fun. Yeah.
like
Hey,
Rush is either
you just threw a 12-minute Rush song at me. Okay, all right, yeah, I guess I'll,
yeah,
play it.
I'm not the biggest Rush fan. I love a lot of their material, but I don't care about a lot of their material.
Yeah.
Uh, let's see.
We were kind of doing Blue Oyster Cult. I got about 5 albums in.
Yeah, there's good stuff, but at the 5 albums in, realistically, they become a greatest hits band.
Yeah.
Even I'd say after the third album, they are
We
a
could.
greatest hits band.
I mean, Rainbow is more of a band that I had more of I guess a grasp on, I suppose. Maybe
Well, are you looking for
Genesis.
Guitar stuff?
Well, it doesn't have to just be guitar stuff. I like that we were doing like this kind of early prog stuff. Like, was kind of interesting. We could do
I
Genesis.
find Genesis to me is one of my absolute favorite bands of all time, and it's hysterical because just like everybody else who grew up with South Park, I just assumed it was shitty '80s Phil Collins. And then I got into Genesis because of Bran Daler, the drummer of Mastodon, because he was talking about how good of a drummer Phil Collins was, and I was like, really?
Yeah.
Phil Collins, like really? And then I found out that no, actually, they're the most respected prog band. They were the most respected prog band of all time, and they just kind of got erased from public consciousness because of the 80s.
Yeah.
And I found that very interesting. And then going back, finding out that I think that they're a brilliant band. Their first album sucks. First album, and the first album is a
what if
bunch
we
of
go? Because
like,
I want to do Genesis. Styx also seems interesting.
well, Six has always to me been the greatest hits band. I would say, and this is what I was actually thinking the other day, is the last couple bands we did is we're starting at the beginning and we're getting petered out. So what I would recommend is like rather than listening to a band from the beginning and waiting for it to warm up, and then by that time you're like 5 or 6 albums in, you're like, all right, is this
I want
over?
the
I would say,
stories, man. Like I want I want to see
but
it. You know.
I think that if we're gonna do some of these, we need to, especially if it's a recommendation for like me, is like start off with something awesome because it like start off with like a great album and then work your way back to like the first one and you go, oh, that one kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So it's like I even had the idea that if we were gonna do Judas Priest, you start with Painkiller and you work your way
Okay.
backwards.
I've heard Painkiller. It's great. It's great.
Yeah,
Or you know
it's
what?
the
Let's do Judas Priest. Let's just
start with
let's not mess
Painkiller,
around.
work your way backwards, and then like all the way to the first album, and
Okay.
then after that you can come back and do like the reunion albums if you're interested.
Yeah. Okay.
But like because the prime real estate of Judas Priest is from, in my opinion, their third album, Sin After Sin, all the way through to 91, which is
Okay.
Painkiller. Some people will disagree and say, no, the second album's really good. And some people will go, oh, the 90s stuff with Ripper Owens is really good. I'm like, sure, sure. But let's just get that nugget out of the way.
Yeah.
So start with Painkiller and work your way backwards and
Okay.
see them get less heavy.
Okay. I think we're gonna do Judas Priest. I think
Yeah, we'll
enough
do
messing
Genesis
around.
after that, but
enough
we need
messing
metal.
around. We need metal. I think this is this is the core. This is some core curriculum metal.
Oh, well, because you're gonna find just how good they just keep on being. And I think that going backwards will get your interest quicker because the late
I've
70s metal albums are really good, but
I've heard Painkiller and
they're
it's excellent.
right.
You know, so
And
I
it'll
already
be
know this.
like Stained Class is one of my favorite albums that they do, but they didn't the production isn't quite there. It kind of feels weak. So it's like going backwards, you'll kind of appreciate it more once you finally get to the
Mhm.
earlier stuff.
Okay. Well,
A lot to listen to, but it's not that bad. Like it's nothing is really that. They don't have.
yeah.
There's no concept albums and that stuff. It's just like
Mhm.
Painkiller, Ram It Down, Turbo, Defenders of the Faith, Screaming for Vengeance, Hellbent for Leather,
Mhm.
British Steel, Stained Class, and I think Sin After Sin. I don't think I missed any, but like those are, to me, that's the main body of Judas Priest's catalog, and I love all of it.
All right.
Even the stuff that sucks.
I guess we'll I think that's it. I think that's
Hell
it
yeah.
for this was a run through. This is kind of just how we talk with each other about bands.
And one day we'll go through we'll go through King Crimson again, just so everyone can hear us talk about Model Man.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about that one.
Yeah,
I played it a
we'll
couple
go through
times,
King
but
Crimson.
they don't realize how much we love King Crimson.
I listened to Lark's Tongue and Aspic in the car the other day, and it keeps getting better as I get older.
King Crimson it's like the S tier. It's like the triple S tier prog band.
It's the trout flavored yogurt from Earthbound. It's
All
it's perfect.
right, I'm gonna end the stream, but I'm gonna like come back
Cool.
and play some Night Rain. Do you have any last words? Do you have any like anything you want to plug? Anything on the horizon? I posted your link for your Bandcamp. I don't
The
know.
only thing I would recommend is that if you like Rainbows Rising, uh, don't listen to Rainbow. Listen to Halloween instead. Like just go down the '80s power metal route. You'll
Yeah,
find what you're looking for.
yeah.
You're not going to find it in the Rainbow catalog.
I think most people are kind of working backwards anyway from something they like now, and then they kind of go, well, what about this? And then
Yeah,
you
I,
know,
I I agree. I just don't think that it's very interesting that Rising sticks out so
hmm
much, and what makes it good is not something that you can find in the careers of the like in the discographies of the people involved. You
hmm.
never find it again. That's the one.
Rising is the album. That is the Rainbow album. That's the definitive end all be all, alpha and omega, and it. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
it.
Everything else,
It's fine.
it's fine. You might find some good stuff. I mean, yeah. All right. Um, I will be on later. Probably playing Night Rain with Justin and Judas Priest. Judas Priest is the
Judas
next band. So
Judas Priest.
let's all listen to Judas Priest together. Jason recommends Painkiller first, and then working
Back
backwards.
and just go
I
backwards.
I'm probably just gonna go straight forward
All
from the
right.
beginning. I
Then,
don't know.
then you got to start with Rockarola, and
Yeah.
it's not great.
Yeah, but I like when it gets better and better. I
Okay.
like. I don't know.
Then
I
I'll do
something
that
we.
with you. I'll start at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the band. This is the Jason band.
Yeah,
I think
I
Judas
have this.
Priest is. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it had to be. It used to be Dream Theater, and then they just Dream Theater gonna Dream Theater.
All
So
right.
Judas Priest
We'll
is the band.
we'll do Dream Theater one day.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
That's it. I'll talk to you later.
Peace.
Peace. Uh, that's it. Okay. I will be on. I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to restart the stream in some time. So, yes, David the Shredder, Cappy Weird, Maria, Izana Akana. Yeah, cool. All right. Peace, everyone. Judas Priest.